very soon. I can't wait to see what these gamers have in store for us today. What do you see? What do you think we're gonna be seeing today? Serve anything spicy?
Whole lot of hot of action off the rip, bro. Got KFL Yak. He's already getting himself in the mix. He's gonna pull out himself into stanchion, running right into Chili. As you see, the chances here for the stanchion coming out from Yak again just doesn't happen. This fight off the pick and table is immense. We didn't even have the chance to break off. No sense gets knocked out here. And Yak's gonna get caught to that R&B is coming through from the fist blade. A new weapon on the block, and it's doing work here. You can see HY with Taliska catching the dub for their squad into the eliminations for 3 on board.
Indeed. A quick 3 eliminations off the rip. Very nice for HYPERCUBE, but Chili, No Sense, and Taliska. But we're going to be jumping right on over to Celestra, ladies and gentlemen. Mado, Akai, and Spooner on the hot drop up against Praise, Brandora, and Bomb. Looks as though ESA managed to force out space cooldowns from Celestial Moonfire, I think it was. They forced out this Yuashan ultimate. Going to be trying to stall it out alongside that Monk ultimate as well. Spooner going to be having ultimate online relatively soon. Praise having taken a lot of damage, looking to try and disengage, get out of danger using that F1 to try and buy a little bit more time. The RMB focus buying just a little bit more, but unfortunately it is not going to be enough to save his life. And in the meantime, it looks as though Akai took down Praise in the background in the 1v2. But now we've got Hex coming into the mix. Wooey getting locked down, trying his best to get back up again. Thankfully for this ultimate, Aizen's ultimate allowing him to have that invulnerability, keeping him alive. But Squeaky, unfortunately, is not going to be sharing that invulnerability, and he is going to be taken down in the corner. 1 versus 3. Now the re-engage coming through by Mado popping their ultimates. The V3 Justina, the Mado special, the Justino Mado. he does love this ability, and he's one of the reasons why I think it's turbo slept on. Legitimately very strong in my opinion. However, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. You find it in pro play, you know.
We've seen that comp before in the scrims. They've been rocking that comp for a couple of weeks now, trying to locate its synergy with Liam after his release, and it's working pretty well for them. It's come through for some success, especially with considering that V Christina you said utilize. It's gonna 50% rage ultimate. You don't need a lie, and plus at the casting time, you only need 2 seconds until you're able to gain rage back, and that's literally just a blink of an eye, holding the double blue focus hold check, if anything, just to keep yourself mitigated. But things come into works. They got their eliminations. They're still working on it. We see Andy getting eliminated into the ravine over to the Celestial region. RiskTakers making his way towards the eastern side, looking out for Vic Jet, obviously with Jinshed catching himself into Stone Foreman. They're going to lock this one down, having as much chances here to release. He's going to go ahead and get it negated with the F1 from the combo breaker, as the Liam as Predator is going to be rocking this one through into this comp. Having Viper, having the Hottie, having F2 V1 for the Viper specifically to have that zone control. The F2 was missed there. We can see this chase is going to be a really hard-earned one, as we know the ravine fight happening over to the northern side is still occurring for RiskTakers to make his way as the first initiator. We see Jinchen get down. The wheel is in motion. We see every one of these players getting out of there, but it looks like Rustum's taking to take the risk. He takes a smack to the face from the water wheel. He's going to catch himself in a spot where he'd rather just be able to find an armor swap. He finds a teleporter, though, thanks to Lucio's tenacity of just realizing the position they're going to take. F2 coming out here as you see Argamon gets caught to the sides. Uppercuts confirmed. He's going to keep the momentum for the staggers, but has to disengage completely. Anything can happen. He can get caught to a clink and get eliminated easily for right now. And for Rustum with no armor powder, he's going to try to look towards using his vitality into this time to reset underneath the bridge. All the actions happening above board.
Indeed. Thankfully for him, he does manage to find this reset, but he's not going to be able to get a full one, unfortunately. Does get spotted out by CG. CG taking upon themselves to full engage here. They've committed that Kailin ultimate, and it's doing a good job. Let's just say that. They're going to be responding with that Viper ultimate, try and mitigate some of this damage. Pancake, though, managed to space out, avoiding the stun. The Predator is fighting them off with that Liam ultimate. Pancake gonna have to be careful here. He's getting the very, very low HP. as he is running V2 on Kylin, the ultimate that consumes health once you've used a certain number of those slashes. But it looks as though it's not going to mean all that much, as he is relatively healed up at this point, and in a 3 versus 1 situation, there is very little risk, and there are very few Risk members left. They're going to be having to resurrect themselves elsewhere for the moment. But CG bound to be very happy about that one, taking 5 kills under their belt, a purple armor, and quite a lot of cash as well. So they're going to be able to head on over to that Rift dealer, to the shop, and do a little bit of shopping before they go for their rotations. But now, moving on over, Noobslayer and his team up against HYPERCUBE. Noobslayer forced to use that Farrier ultimate to try and stay alive, forced to jump out of there. I'm not sure if the issue's going to be forced just yet by HYPERCUBE, as they've already committed one of their ultimates. But Noobslayer, he's not done just yet. And Moonbane is going to be able to prevent the onslaught, so to speak, especially considering that FRW is also in the mix, waiting, biding their time up on the cliff, as we can see on the minimap. It looks as though Noobslayer and his team are going to be looking for the full disengage, as they might be turning their sights over to the Realm of Yang. There it is, going to be spawning up in 90 seconds. And as we all know, Realm of Yang, an extremely important factor to consider in Immortal War, as it just gives you so much scaling, allows you to get that ball rolling, as we talk about every time we do these casts. Just so BWG are on the escape, they've on the retreat. Bang, they'll be looking to loot up instead of chasing them down.
Making their way towards the graveyard. They're going to hit towards the Fiery Cave region just to try to see about any sort of fireflies, if anything's in the zone. Even if it is in the zone, it's a high value for the Rage to be gained. 0 grapples on hand for Rebellious. The supply is not looking too hot. With 3 kills eliminations, Bang will take a 3-point lead so far. Placement is in play once they start hitting into the stop hitting the double digits and into the singles once you hit through. Firefly has been attained. There's 1 right there. There's 2 right there on the ridge line. I know that Revelia is looking to try to get his teammate that one instead. So with that case being made, we're going to see Bang just trying to find their chances of obtaining as much as they can in the zone before they have potential participants outside to enter within. Now, Romy Yang, like we mentioned, it's a huge surplus in power spikes. I mean, having the opportunity to pick up extra eliminations is one thing, but once you win the Romy Yang, the potential right there is already superseding your expectations of how the game's going to go. You're going to gain a gold weapon on standby for the first Romy Yang, and that gold weapon does a lot of work, especially on a power scaling type unit, such as you can see the Zais are making an appearance. But even now, the newest hero to the edition, with Kylin, having his chances of catching a huge spike of power just puts him into play. But over to the Servants Crowds, we have a fight here. Kai, Mado, Spooner, Gamers going through in the middle of their Perumial on the Spirit Well, and they're going to be trying to contest this Spirit Well as it comes to at 50% threshold to be released. We have ourselves to see the pressure that Kylin can prove to be into. If it comes down to Hakai, he can't get the Parasol in time. He's going to get eliminated as Squeaky's able to find the elimination. Hex in a 3v2 situation. Going to see that V2 zipping being proc halfway through the fight. That's not going to be a good look for Mado nor Spooner. The V3 comes out for the second time. Sachiko finds a parry. Mado's going to be protected by the freeze wall, but Mado's F2 going to come out, or the F1 I could say, give himself some little bit of armor regen. He's going to try to back off here and try to look for this engagement while that Spirit gets clean. In the meanwhile, we have our Romy Yang happening right now. HY Chili going to have to activate that Temi ultimate. You're going to see the elimination off of KFL's Ryomen. RMB is going to be split out here, but the parry was clean. Chili keeps his lockdown on Windy for that stone form. Looks for the double hold, looks for the double stone form. Going to be looking for an RMB uppercut. That's going to be where this team subsides the victory, and that's going to be 6 kills on the board for HY. They're taking that Romy Yang. They're taking another purple armor on the board. Our second Romy Yang room is going to have party number 9 coming through here with Rewinding Rain with Noob Slayer making their chances against a Bang. And, Bang right now not looking too hot. We lost one of our members, and we got 3v2 situation into this Romy Yang. as you can get a chance to see the fairy cannon shots from the distance. That ultimate focus shot just knocks back any targets into the vicinity, and that's where we're going to be leading out, where the Hadi ultimate is going to be placed. This is going to be post-patch where we get the extension to the Realm of Yang, so time is of the essence here for another minute, and this is going to be where timing is going to be key. Note, Bay's going to lose out into a case scenario where they find the elimination across Shishi. It's going to be a 2v2 now, and everything's going to be turning around in their favor. There's going to be the R&B release against Korean. Korean looks for the R&B himself. He succeeds. He's going to find himself in a position against Noob Slayer, who finds that release in the face with a Hadi teleporter. Clean. You can see how Rewinding Rain, he's taking all this damage, all this smoke. He finds the F2 usage to kind of back off, disengage, regroup the teammate. Noob Slayer finds 2 kills. In the meantime, there's a Clink number 1. Rewinding is at 200 HP. Nice parry coming up from Noob Slayer, looking for the R&B again. F3 shot to catch 2 targets. Not going to happen here. The 1v2 situation. The R&B does not come out here. Noob Slayer, caught into the thick of things, is going to get eliminated. And with that, Bang comes out victorious in this room.
Beautifully played by Bang. Just, I think what it came down to was the fact that the Yuei-Shun, when he came out of that ultimate, he had no armor to his name. He came out of that ultimate with a sliver of health, and it was only a matter of time before he got locked down and finally taken down, as Bang was fully aware of this, pushed the issue, went straight for him after he came out of that ultimate, and were able to equalize the fight. And due to the sustain potentially coming out from that zipping, they were able to outlast in this fight. But let's take a look here at Hex up against Risk. Lucio being taken down extremely low. It's not looking good for them. I mean, the Hex, they do have this Draco Storm buff, and I'm not sure if Risk were forced into this fight or if they actually chose to take it of their own volition, but regardless, it's a very unfortunate fight to have to take. Draco Storm is one of those buffs that is so impossible to overcome. It looks as though Bang may be in a pretty similar situation, unfortunately getting taken down here after having come out of the Realm of Yang, although they do have that Vermilion Bird's Might, so they aren't going to be out of the lobby just yet. They're going to be able to come back, resurrect themselves, and look to go into this mid-end game situation. But BWG looking pretty happy, opting to run the Takeda Karumi Monk composition as well. An interesting composition that we have seen a little bit of play in the Koi Cup, in fact, that we had a couple weeks back. But heading on over, we've got Noob Slayer's team. Sheezy, 1 HP now. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get the Yuei-Shun ult off before, but now has been able to get it online, jumping in. But the Wu Chen ult is going to be traded out by WK. They're going to be immediately disengaging. But Noob Slayer and his team are not looking to let them go so easily, considering that they do have this Yang depletion debuff, and they're going to be forced to get some Soul Blooms. Otherwise, they are simply going to be falling over in a matter of minutes. I don't think they're going to be able to. Oh, no, it does look like they were able to catch up. But we're going to be heading on over to Hakai, Spooner, and Mado, scrapping it out on top of the Ballista.
You know, this is not too far away from that fight that we just saw at Victor Saban with Shiisi's team. But another thing coming into Mado is now that we have Hakai on Ballista, he's going to take some shots into the back from this Farius Shen. He was able to connect some Ballista shots. Blind that Scorch, Wooey in the kill feed, Tizzy in the kill feed, eliminating out Rewinding Wayne, and as well as KFL losing out 2 teammates so far, where you're still going to see whether or not they're going to be surviving to this fight. But we see how Hakai is going to have the high ground here. And with the Ballista shot, he's connecting it. He's looking for Mary too. Mary is just in the middle of all this action and took it straight to the face. This is going to be an easy rush down right now, forward party number 2. And if Hakai can make this chance, maybe you can look for an R&B option here. Look for the Parasol priority listing as it can come through here for F3. Keep that mitigation alive for the teammate. As long as it comes into the right motion, he's going to catch the healing ray defense for the team. The Liam's going to come out here, getting caught by the V2 Spear. There's going to be a parry into the direction of Mary. That's an HP block shield of a lifetime that came through. Spooner getting caught into that elimination, but we know that Hakai is waiting for his Parasol out to get the res up. He's looking for it. He lines it up. He finds it. He can't get caught in any sort of shots here. If any player decides to rush into this position,
look at this.
Mado's going to lock this one down. Mary having to go ahead and looking for the R&Bs here. Mado is going to be in ground unity. He's literally playing Bruiser gameplay, F1 in play, getting the regen, dodging every single one of these players. The regen is going to happen for Spooner. He's going to catch him. Mado gets caught to the elimination. Spooner's back up with the F3 though. Will it be enough for him to get out? He's got F1 on standby to push himself away from the opponents, but Hakai just going to have to dip out here completely. As you can see, Spooner is still getting chased out here from FRW. This is going to be where we're going to potentially have a two-team situation looking for the res on their third player soon or later.
That's rough. Even though Hakai did manage to get that res off, Mado unfortunately just wasn't able to stall out long enough to allow for the res and stay on his feet. But it looks as though Hakai might be able to head on over there and get a tether, but we'll have to wait and see if he managed to get there in time. At the moment, it looks as though CG been fighting it out close by and used their Kylin ultimate, but it doesn't look as though much has come of this. Immediately disengaging, the enemy team immediately disengaging, and CG looks like they're pretty happy to only have traded one ultimate here, especially considering that we're gonna be transitioning into this endgame situation where these teams are. I think the Yang depletion may have finished already. I did see one player go down to it already. And I think that the majority of those players who did have Yang depletion have either cleansed it or have already been eliminated. So now, got a bit of a lull in the action, waiting for the next realm of Yang, waiting for the Spirit Wells to come online. If some of these teams opt to go for that instead of the realms of Yang, and it looks as though Mado did get back up. I'm not sure if this was due to the fact that Hakai got there in time, or if it was because they managed to go to a Spirit Well. I think that's in fact what happened, because with the Spirit Wells, not only does it give you a buff, not only does it give you some good loot, but it also gives you a rebirth charm. So it just drops it on the floor, and they may have used that to resurrect Mado instead, and then getting the buff for themselves. BWG sniffing around, looking to see if they spot any weakness, spot a fight out that they can potentially third party, try and maximize the kills, maximize their time. It doesn't look as though they want to engage just yet. They have other priorities on the mind. It looks as though PSA going to be rotating out here as well. But yeah, a big lull in the action. Noob Slayer, unfortunately, going down to the zone. I think he may have had Yang depletion, and he just went down to the zone instead of going down to the Yang depletion himself. Oh, wait, he dies to the zone again? What's going on? What's happening right now? Noob Slayer, was it a glitch in the Matrix? Was it deja vu? What's going on here? Is Noob Slayer dying in the zone repeatedly? I don't really know. But it looks like a PSA. Wait, what?
He's Neo.
He's the one. But PSA gonna be looking to try and maximize the value out of this Mystic Might buff that they got from the Spirit Well. Although it doesn't look as though Bang wants to fight this, as they know that they'd be at a disadvantage. We'll have to see if they can force this fight out with the 40 seconds they have remaining on the buff. So they may have caught one. Revelia goes to the skies with that F3 on the side. He does have a gold Hangsel though. If he turns around with that ultimate, it could be extremely dangerous. Gonna do a lot of damage. Speaking of a lot of damage, Spooner taking all of his shield in damage. Mado forced to use this V3, stalling it out though. The F1 and the V3, excellent stalling. Hakai with a beautiful parry, but unfortunately due to the terrain wasn't able to get the full follow-up. Ultimate coming through now, and then the special interaction with the Justina V3 and the Kurumi Circle, turning it into a freeze or ice circle, whatever you'd like to call it. One of the big value points from this composition, but it looks as though Mado is not going to be able to stay on his feet, and Hex is looking to third party.
Hex might be looking for those chances here. Gold armor on Wooey. He's on preemptive Kylan ultimate. He's set to go here. He said in one of his play sessions is saying all I need to do is press ult, press V, L and B, and that's all I need to do. That's all I need to do for the team. And he's doing it right now with the V2. He's losing a lot of HP. He's in chill and guard state. He's gonna give himself enough slashes here, maybe to potentially just knock out Hakai. But you can see the tether is still active. There is the escape. LMB will allow him to escape through this position, but Hakai gets tied out regardless. F2 coming in from Squeaky, making his chances. And Wooey finding the solo for himself as that rage is going to be ticking off here. Wooey's going to be looking to move across the field, finding out Spooner and towards the western side of the map and just trying to catch out that extra elimination. I mean, Hex is cooking right now. 10 eliminations on the board. Spooner trying not to give him eliminations, go straight to the zone, but he can't stay himself much longer to stay alive. As you can see, the chase down from Hex, relentless. These guys have one crap on Sachiko's end, but after this is all up to the other players. Just catching through. The F2 from Atari is up again for Squeaky. Not going to utilize it just yet. You see the Soul Bloom be picked up again for Wooey. Got to get that offensive ultimate online as soon as possible, and you can see how it's going to come into play here once they exit the zone. If there's any players outside of the region, come back right into this area. Just look towards what's to see in the line ahead. We got 2 Moon Mains left to drop into the map. We still got 2 Spirit Wells left to go through. If anything comes out for these players, it will be a upgrading towards their armor and gear, as well as Soul Jade retention. But you can see as well as that once this gold starts to go online, these teams will just head to a shop as fast as they can. Bang in the region right then and there. You're going to see the shots coming out. The location has been spotted. Revelia going to get caught into the dodge band. You can see the crossbow Jade coming into play here for the barbed bolts being unlocked. With it, Sachiko takes the time to repair the zone, keeps himself into the back line. You can see the frontline gamers coming out, but Bang's Plume is going to be going ahead and try to lock down any sort of potential of being in the lead, almost having ultimate here. There's going to be the ultimate from Atari from Squeaky's end, and now Plum can activate his in response, but Revelia is down. The DPS, their control, their zoner is going to be eliminated with the Zai, and Bang catches F1 in the zone. Not going to have much healing efficiency off of that end, and we know that Korean is going to be going ahead, having to get caught by the other team to come through from BWG. Is going to be the last remaining Bang teammate for this round, so long as the kiting isn't there. But it looks like Korean's going to be proving otherwise. He's going to be moving towards the zone. F1 to get avoidance off that, but he still gets caught by that Nunchuck stagger. Has V1 to be active, but an RB to the face. Nunchuck's going to go ahead, give BWG their 8th elimination. 15 players left on the board. You got 8.5 minutes left into game 1, and it's only going to be starting here. This is the first match, y'all. We still got 5 more rounds after this to come out here. You guys are just tuning in for the Summer Challenge. Make sure you guys understand that the Summer Challenge is going to be going through 6 rounds total. First 3 rounds are going to be more style. Remaining 3 rounds are going to be Holoroth.
Indeed they are. The first 3 rounds being those Firefly maps as well, allowing for so much more uptime on these ultimate abilities, these important and impactful resources. We see that I mean, you know how it is. You know, if you played Naraka, you know how important an ultimate is and how important getting that Firefly can be. It looks as though Noob Slayer did in fact come back to life. It truly is the one, but unfortunately he has gone down again. Rewinding Rain and Shizi not able to keep him alive in the face of HYPERCUBE. HYPERCUBE just waiting, trying to see if this team would dare to come and try and resurrect Noob Slayer, considering that all 3 of them seem to have their cooldowns available. Rewinding Rain gonna be getting his ultimate relatively soon as well. It looks as though HYPERCUBE is actually taking a fight against CG. Pancake's already been taken down in the kill feed. Assuming we'll swap over to it relatively soon. Rewinding Rain and Shizi trying to put maximum distance between themselves and the action. CG Wise taken down pretty low. Not looking too good for him, especially considering that this is Zone 4, Shadow Corruption 4. Not only does it do a lot more damage, but it also instantly stacks up that anti-heal debuff. When you spend too much time in the zone in the first 3 storms, it stacks up slowly. However, once it reaches that 4th Shadow Corruption, the anti-heal debuff instantly stacks. Almost immediately. Yeah. But, yeah, so you don't want to be fighting in the zone in Zone 4. But unfortunately for HYPERCUBE, they have been caught out by BWG. BWG taking advantage of this fight, third-partying, and able to take down No Sense. However, it looks as though Taliska might be able to dip into the storm and resurrect the team. Maybe, I don't know, though. I feel like this is a little too free. I'm surprised they're actually being allowed to do this. I think BWG was forced to turn their attention elsewhere, and it looks as though that's exactly what they've done. They're fighting CG. CG Wise taken down, and then CG Argamon taken down by Hex Squeaky. They've just been caught in the middle of all of these teams that are unfortunately not able to stay together, stabilize, and feign strength towards the rest of the lobby. The rest of the lobby immediately recognizing that they are a man down and that they are a vulnerable and optimal target to try and go for. BWG might be thinking the same about Hex right here. They're testing the waters, but I'm not sure if they're looking to full engage here. Full engaging here is not a good idea as a server. You immediately get third-partied.
You got to reevaluate your situation to this end circle for an engagement, because right now, I mean, HY just came off from the zone. That res is just free as heck. And they got themselves that nice armor swap just to keep that defense on no sense. But another thing to keep a note right now is supplies. We don't know how these teams are looking at in terms of the overall grand scheme of things, but if they had to look to the regen in terms of a full heal off of a character, that's full armor, full health, that could burn a lot of resources really quick into this end game circle. We still have a chance to see how well they can attest towards using this greatsword with Takeda, right? You know, having the opportunity of being able to catch an R&B for free, especially after having ultimate ready for Taliska, would be the best case scenario, especially off of V3 Takeda. But the thing is, that Spirit Well being procced out here from BWG, they are contesting that for themselves for good reason. This Spirit Well here, this endgame Spirit Well, gives you back not only to the gear that you're going to be gaining from the gold rarity, weapon, armor, jades, things of that nature. You're also getting a buff now, okay? And you're taking that buff, whether Mystic Might or White Tiger's Prowess, and you're getting 100% ult as a result, which means that you can preempt the ult into another cast ultimate and still have enough chance to do offensive pressure against any pushing teams. You can see that right now. BWG Lexin finding elimination off of Sasha from Team Hex. I think he's on Bloodlust Ruin right now and looking for the elimination as the Wei Shan finds that ultimate in just perfect Nick timing. Hex is in the corner into the bush. They're going to be playing out here just to make sure the defensive measure is to be met after the second cast of ultimates have been run out here from BWG. Lexin having to still have the TNI ultimate is going to be that one insurance policy for this team if they find themselves to be overforced or even to the point of just being overzealous in terms of an aggression push. But Zay having the chance here, just looking for the combat pressure on Tashishi, just keeping the momentum, keeping the grapples. He's got 4 left in his pocket. He's going to have to look to really avoid that bush in terms of Hex's sake. But there's the second ultimate from Takeda. This is exactly what we're looking for. R&B's going to be released out here. Zay's going to see the elimination. Lexin's going to be finding it out here. But the White Tiger's Prowess doing its work here for the staggers against any targets in the vicinity. You can see Zay looking for the V3s and trying to catch any sort of reason to try to lock them into the zone, but he's going to lose out and try to lock down Chili as he's able to escape. We got one more Fear and Push to be available for V3. Zay finds it. Taliska uses his in response. Taliska looking to try to keep Zay pushed away from the teammates. Chile activates his F1 for the Temi. He's going to be backing off into that corner. We can see a chance for the TN high grabs from Lexin and just try to find out whether or not he can try to get elimination for the team into the final 3 minutes. We still got a chance here. A grab to be met. It's going to be an elimination. Lexin finds it. That's going to be the White Tiger's Prowess buff coming to effect. The Taliska play coming through here is going to be staying alive for as long as possible. Mission objective is going to be a chance for Zay though to release every single one of these RBs due to the J selection that BWG now has. And there's going to be the ultimate coming in from Hex. As a response, been waiting patiently for this entire moment. The Kylan coming out from Wooey. We're going to see the amount of pressure that he's going to bring out here. And he's going to get slash after slash after slash. He's looking for his chance. He's looking to get himself into the stagger momentum here as he can get back in. But guess what? This Kurumi circle is the one thing that's going to deny any sort of that pressure, all that damage, all that pressure. Just delete it. There's nothing you can really do about it. That's going to be where Kurumi really just comes in the clutch here, Duncan. And that's going to be where the final 2 minutes are going to ring out.
Absolutely, and not only that, but the White Tiger's Prowess is doing so much for them as well here. They're not only able to have this passive healing, but also if they do find that elimination, they're immediately going to do a big chunk of health damage to everyone within a certain radius. Looks as though Zay is looking to get aggressive yet again. HY gonna be those aggressed upon BWG do have their Monk ultimate online and ready to go at a moment's notice. Zay still trying to work up that ultimate. 14% left, 10%, 7, 5. He's about to unleash it with this purple fan. Unfortunately, that White Tiger's Prowess buff has now expired, so they aren't going to be getting that passive healing. However, they are looking to be in an extremely good spot, considering they have the Takeda ultimate, considering they have the Monk ultimate for that heal-off situation. An excellent utility ability in this kind of situation. HY trying their best to stay at the edge of the zone. They don't want to take this fight. They don't want to be forced into this engagement just yet. Chili forced to use that ultimate. Now the Kurumi ultimate is going to be coming out as well. Lexin taking a lot of damage to his armor though. Not looking too good for him. Able to space it out for the moment. Lexin taking lots of damage. Forced to use the ultimate. There we go. Just barely able to get it online before he gets taken down in the zone. HY are putting up a fight. They will not go quietly into the night. Vagine taking a lot of damage now. Able to get that ultimate out and on the field. Zay trying to feel for his teammates, trying to set up for some of these grabs. Rui still going, I think, on the Kylan. The grab comes through. Taliska slammed into the zone. Zay goes to the skies. They don't have a full HP, but not a single one of these players looks as though they have that full HP. However, the Flamebringer coming out from Chile might be able to make something happen. The invulnerability on the Kylan ultimate might also be what saves the day for them. And I think, oh, it is! Hex Wooey gonna be the last man standing, able to clutch it up for his team. Might be coming up with a name for a composition that in the long run might not stick around, but we will have to wait and see if that ends up being the case. For the moment, we are jumping right on into game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. WK up against KFL. Rioman currently not in the best spot. Forced to try and 1v2 here. Stall for a little bit of time for his teammates, and it looks as though it's not looking good. WK might be making short work of this team, but no! Rioman does get a parry, equalizing. However, the third party coming through from who was it? Wait, Hex? No, am I tripping?
Gamers.
No, WK. Wait, I'm confused. I'm
The
very
thing
confused.
is, HY come through here.
HY. Okay.
They're kind of doing
Getting a
work
little
here
bit
with
mixed up here, but yeah, it's the chaos. WK forced to use this Tumult ultimate, but not able to keep his teammates alive. Unfortunately, Tizzy T is now in a 1 versus 3 situation up against HYPERCUBE, an unwinnable situation, you could say. It looks as though CG are looking to get aggressive here, looking to come in and third party Chile on that Matare, trying to get some value out of this charged F. It looks as though, oh, wait, he's still alive because it's Kylin, but not for long. The fire damage from the F3 on the Zai, able to come in and lock him down for a moment. The parry belt coming out there from the Monk. It seems this fight is just going back and forth. Rioman and co have decided to come back into this fight and see what they can do. Chile forced to try and disengage, but he runs straight on into CG, retreating. Can he stay alive? It's going to be tough in the 1v2. No, he cannot. CG able to make it out with their lives and with a kill or two. The KFL, are they going to be able to... Ooh, yes, they are. Taliska getting locked up by the grab. The double grab from Rioman, beautifully done. Taliska goes down.
Gotta be honest, man. Rioman's Tianhai is nothing to mess around with. We've seen it time and time again, especially coming through here in the past 2 years, or a year and a half. So where we are able to see how much pressure it comes through. And Yak getting caught to this parry, not what he's looking for. Doesn't have that ability to get himself out. So it's going to be a little bit of a tough position now for KFL. But you know, this area with the Crow's Nest having a lot of Fireflies on standby just puts a lot of position for the teams in case their ultimates come out immediately. But you're gonna see here the Temiol doing his work here in the spirit of the series of play, but Rioman gets caught to the parry, gets eliminated here from CG Wise, who also knocks out Windy. This is CG's 4th elimination. They're grabbing a lot of gold from this area. Taking this in rotation towards the shop would be their best play, but it's not the only fights happening just ahead. We still got other gamers onto the map, and you know, while this team resets for themselves and for some armor, not having a lot of supplies, literally not having any armors to kind of work off of that blue armor, Argomon's gonna have to switch back to the common rarity so they can make their way towards the shop and come back into the Celestial region, though. East or western side, we are gonna see Hakai, Beto, Spooner trying to work into having a res. Hakai gonna go for the stealth res as Hex is gonna disengage towards the Celestial eastern end. And for this res to be happen, pistol shot immediately from Lucio coming in here from the sneaky sneak and the F3 shield. That's a free elimination that Lucio just took for Risk. And that's gonna be going ahead and putting them away towards the Artisan's Grove, for where he's gonna disengage. Spooner, though, he's looking for blood, man. He's looking to rush him down. 11 grapples on Hakai, so hopefully the flies into their first set of looting, troves, anything on the ground, gives them enough potential to find this elimination. It looks like Spooner's already on the scene. The Hottie ultimate is on standby, though, for Lucio. If Lucio gets himself into a position where he sees another teammate, he will look to disengage with either ultimate or just looking for the F2 combo breaker. There it is. You can see it coming to their play or have a chance. R&B gets released. There it is. Released again and again and again. And then the F2, the kill confirm for Mado is going to be big time. And as Lucio goes to res, we still have fights happening over in Shadow Jade Mine. Duncan.
We do indeed. We've got fights all over the place. PSA coming away with that kill, very pleased with themselves, I'd imagine. Bang over in Wreckage Plains. Korean having taken to the skies, used that cube, and then immediately cancelled ultimate, trying to go in with that pulse sword RMB focus, but not able to do so, unfortunately. He does have the advanced heal. He is able to get back into the fight sooner rather than later. Shizi taking quite a bit of damage there. Fortunately, able to use that F3 on the Kurumi to prevent a lot of that damage from coming through. The 90% damage reduction is insane, as we all well know. Korean now going for another heal. Revelia taking a lot of damage. Korean forced to cancel and immediately use that ultimate, sending the cube up into the sky, trying to get it as far away from the ground as possible so that his teammates, if they need to use it, are able to get that reset off. Korean now coming in with a peel, not opting to cancel the ultimate, looking to try and peel these players off of their team. A huge grab comes through onto Noob Slayer, though, coming out from Plum. Oh, and he catches him on the F as well! Noob Slayer goes for the F1 on the Timolk and immediately gets grabbed out of the sky and taken down by Korean and Revelia with their melee weapons. Unfortunately, not able to get back up. Immediately juggled off the floor. They're going to try and get this resurrection off the Kurumi. Tether is in play. They might be able to get it back up on his feet, and if they do, it'll be extremely integral for them winning this fight, considering that he does have that Timolk ultimate online and ready to go. However, it looks as though Bang may have thought better of the situation, have thought better of going back in and continuing the fight, and have opted to disengage. Oh no, and it looks as though the reason being is because Spooner and co have turned up and third-party this fight and immediately sent all of these players to the Spirit Realm. Coming in, quick third-party, taking them up to 7 eliminations as well. 7 eliminations this early on for this team is huge for them, as they're going to be able to scale up, spend some of that money, and potentially go into the Realm of Yang. Speaking of, the Realms of Yang are going to be spawning in about a minute and a few. Looks as though we do have a fight in the kill feed somewhere on the map, but not too much is coming off of it. Akai, Spooner, and Mado are going to be trying to loot up as much as they can, as I imagine a lot of this went unlooted, considering the fights that were going on leading up to this point. BWG over in Sunwing's Rest, just that they are doing it a similar sort of thing. They do have 3 eliminations, but they don't have any purple armors. They do have purple weapons. They are going to be doing quite a bit of damage, but sustain-wise, they might not have it. But we will have to wait and see. They'll definitely be looking to go into the Realm of Yang, I imagine. They are closing in onto RiskTakers here. They look as though they aren't very looted. They aren't very scaled up. They might be the perfect target for BWG to find the engage on here. They, using that cube, goes to the sky. Doesn't cancel ultimate, though. Immediately goes on in to try and utilize at least some of this ultimate charge. Now canceling with 40%. Going for the grapple onto the players in the sky. Trying to knock him down, but not able to find the connection. Unfortunately, the Liamo coming through from Predator. Predator does eat a focus in the back by Zay. The fan doing a bunch of damage, but there's a huge Viper ult coming in from Rostam, and now BWG have been thrown for a loop. Lexan silenced. Zay is now on his own in the 1v3. He's turned around so quickly at the drop of a hat. BWG are going to be taken down, and RiskTakers turn the tables on this team, on this fight, and take home the dub. What a play from Rostam.
Yeah, big chances for Risk to come back into the game, especially after the first set of eliminations against Lucio and whatnot that we saw. But Hakai, Mado, Spooner being the reasons for that. You're going to see Hakai having the V2 Wu Chen to be activated here, taking the teleporter here. As this teleport is going to be made, Spooner going to be throwing the V2 Wu Chen ultimate at the area of the Tianhai, giving him heavy staggers, doing massive damage, putting him to the bind, and Bomb's going to be forced into position into the 3-ult, but still, it's a 2-for-2 situation. Both of these team players are looking to try to go ahead for that re-engagement here, but you can see how Spooner had to look towards going back into that timing circle. He's locked down, and you know whether or not Mado can get out of here alive, it's really up to the pressure that Spooner will put onto Brandoro, and that's going to be the case. They're going to see the F2 to confirm the stagger. Praise gets that F-Bell ready to go. The horizontal gets released. The F2 investment maybe a little bit too early. He's going to look for those staggers, though. That's going to be perfect. There it is. RMB to RMB and forces Stoneform and look for the shunt. Look for the RMB release. Let's take a look at the blue focus parry, and that right there is going to be where Mado gets himself and their team necessary buff, the armor, the regen, the gold weapon. This team is killing it this round. They're doing work. They went from a low, losing a teammate in the initial from Hex, down to going to the to Shipwreck and catching a lot of eliminations along the route. Now, CG team catching themselves against Bang. You can see the Tabloon coming in here, but a parry like Revelia has been known for doing so before is going to be doing it big time, especially having that F3 midair after that swing, having around 500 HP, not going to be a problem. We're going to be looking to focus down Argamon, and Revelia just looks for the rotation here in this position, but the focus line is not going to save them. That jump LMB coming from the Fist Blades as Pancake is rocking the new extreme outfit for Kylan, and the new you know, with the hoodie and everything, the new character. He's going to have himself to probably be the one to pick up the purple armor, which is the case. Probably even picking up the gold weapon as well. He's the highest scaling right now for the team in terms of power spike. That's a gold pair of Fist Blades. Man, you know it's going to be a problem. That man's going to have a power spike of a lifetime, and especially considering that he is going to be the one centerpiece for those quick 1-2s for the blue focuses. Spear on hand for CGY, or not for CGYs, but for Argamon. So for the Matari, right, that's like nearly to the case scenario where she's able to just catch an R&B for free. If he gets a stagger, right, Pancake's going to work this one out. He's going to be doing a little bit of more work than what he's kind of anticipating himself up for. But another thing, too, is that Pancake has himself as a Kylan with a Matari. You were making mention about this before. That pressure right there, especially the fact that when Matari catches a target in a mid-flow dash, it's not going to be a fun time when Kylan swipes and she backstabs a target. Like, that's the biggest thing about it.
Absolutely.
It's such a difficult momentum for you to avoid when you get caught. The only thing that could potentially, one thing that could potentially stop you is like a Tian high build. That's it. Because the only thing that comes out towards that is that usually Mataris we're seeing nowadays, they're going to have a chance for the F2. They're going to have a chance for using that for the damage. God. As I say that, that's a triple test. So Hakai getting eliminated off the rip. They got Vermilion Bird's Might, but it's a really unfortunate circumstance they found themselves in.
That's rough. Hex, oh my goodness, finding the beefiest Viper silence I've seen in a while, able to connect it onto all three members of PSA. Spooner finding a quick parry, grab it. I think he hesitated there because he wanted to know whether or not he should pick up that weapon, but it was not to be, and he does go down in the end, unfortunately. But CG, we were just talking about them. Pancake gets the parry, no connection though, unfortunately. He's already used that ultimate as well. They've all been taken down extremely low here. FRW with that White Tiger's prowess. Although Vermilion Bird's Might is a very solid buff, it doesn't give you all that much dueling potential or combat power. Whereas White Tiger's prowess, if you do get an elimination, it does that chunk of health damage to everybody in the vicinity, as well as the fact that it's passively healing at you and the team. So they do go down in the end, but are forced to give up their teammate who went down, unfortunately, as with the Vermilion Bird's Might, they're able to immediately resurrect themselves close by. But heading on over to Sunwing's Rest, WK fighting up against Brandoro, Bomb, and Craze. The Tumulk ult did go down. It looks as though these teams are immediately going to scatter at the sight of the third party coming in, posturing, looking to potentially come in and pick up a few kills. And none of these teams want to get third partied. It's not a situation you want to be in. You do not want to get sandwiched, especially when you've got blue armors, and the possibility of the third-party team having scaled equipment is pretty high. KFL, however, they are not all that scaled. They too have pretty low-tier armor, especially considering that Moonfire, Celestial Moonfire, that was it, I couldn't remember. Craze does have that purple armor and that golden pulse sword he's going to be able to do a lot of damage with if he finds a connection. It doesn't look as though they're going to be committing, especially considering that now PSA has also turned up. All of these teams rotating over in this direction as a Realm of Yang is going to be coming up very close by. A lot of these teams hoping to jump on into the Realms of Yang and continue that snowball effect leading into this endgame. It looks as though KFL is getting hard engaged on here, though. Spooner getting parried, taking a lot of damage, forced to use that ultimate now. Windy having preemptively used the Kurumi ultimate, looking to try and predict the damage coming through. Very nicely done by KFL, able to mitigate the onslaught, which was PSA's aggression here. WK also teetering on the outside, waiting to see if they can find an opportunity, but it doesn't look as though they are going to be going in. KFL now going over to the shop, close to the Realm of Yang portal. However, having committed 2 of their ultimates, I doubt they're going to be looking to go into the Realm of Yang, as they would be at quite a disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Windy had to force to use ultimate there because of that poison splash. The only way he can cleanse it, and then Kurumi with F3 V2 is by only using the ultimate. And that's the case scenario where F3
you can cleanse.
F3 only has it for the armor buff. F1 cleanses with the heal buff or the heal coming back.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like Matari, no, I'm sorry. Kurumi F skills, like the F3, realm ring victory. It allows for the armor. For me, comes out for the damage mitigation only. That's like the trade-off that you come through. That's why you had to force ult.
Wait, you don't get. I was pretty sure that you get cleansed alongside getting the damage reduction buff with F3 Kurumi.
I'm a triple check because I'm pretty sure I saw F3.
Well, we'll have to figure it out. I'm
guys.
pretty sure that's true. I mean, I'm not a Kurumi player, as you may know, but that was
Let's go. Hold F Kurumi mains. Where you at? Where you at, pseudo Mataris? Out in the game world. But it is going to be a free realm game that they're taking into play. Go ahead and see WK Jing Chen. Going to go ahead for the pole sword R&B swings. There it is. The release is hat. Having a chance here for Jing Chen to look for that bow shot. You're going to see Dream finding elimination against Hakai. That's going to be 1 teammate down, 2 teammates down actually. Where we still have 1 remaining one. If I'm not mistaken, that is going to be Mado. He's going to be the only remaining teammate for this team. Yes, and of course, if anything comes out from WK, I mean, look, I saw this earlier before. The Sap Jade now in his hand. Like the Sap Jade is probably one of the more that's like S tier rarity now. Considering that once you get that Jade, any parries you get, you're going to enable yourself to have a sap effect. Whether it's like, if you guys remember before season 13, right? Heavy sword sap, single edge sap, all those saps, right? Everything all combined into one Jade, and that's the power spike that this Jade has. In terms of any other Jade now, it's probably the more sought out ones in terms of its defensive capabilities. The fact that you can get a heavy swing on the heavy weapons such as the pole sword, great sword, especially on Takeda, is where you can just get all your health back. You can get anybody in the vicinity going for a horizontal direction, and then you can just do work with that alone in terms of a great Jade selection. But this team has also gold on standby, so if they find a better selection into the shop, such as for a weapon of choice that's in the specialty shop, or even just finding themselves and finding a gold armor, right? We still have a chance of seeing about these fights to still coming into places, and then hopefully seeing how these players stand up, because 7 eliminations right now for KFL, gold armor on standby, HYPERCUBE prowess being earned, and they're tickling around the areas and seeing what's going on over here. It says are there any bodies here that are looking to be fresh? Is there anything coming out? Can we find any players? The rotation is noted. They're going to be going straight to Sunwing's next, potentially, just to hit those bells on rotation again, potentially. Otherwise, they'll head towards Lake Yellowleaf. They'll make their way towards Noble Cave if they can, just for a little bit of time to hit their way into Daylily Meadow. It's going to be an interesting play on and seeing how well they want to ring out towards the next area of interest. Because right now, KFL, this comp, it's going to be substantial.
Indeed, and they're looking pretty scaled up. But taking a look at the overall map and also the standings of the game, we do have 5 teams fully eliminated in this lobby so far, leaving only WK, Bang, Risk, KFL, CG, and Hex. All of these teams looking to transition into that end game. Oh, wait, PSA. So, PSA at the top there does have the most kills. However, they've only got Mado alive at the moment. So, it's going to be up to Mado to try and survive as long as possible. See if he can get the fire for those kills and potentially get a resurrection on his teammates. For the moment, he is on his lonesome. Bang, going through the rotations, going through the motions, looking around, looking for some resources before it gets to that stage. Or the zone fully closes in. And an interesting composition as well. Hardy, Feria, and Tianhai. Typically, we'll see the Hardy and Feria paired up with Yueshan. But Bang has opted to go for the Tianhai instead. And, I mean, Tianhai has huge potential upside. Like, there's no doubt about that. If you do get those grabs, even a single grab can mean death for that player if your teammates are able to immediately follow up with either range weapons or melee attacks on the slam. and then get the re-juggle into the re-grab, but then the double grab as well. So impactful in so many situations, and can be a really good, although Yuei-shun, we know he is very good at dealing with things like Zai, even Matari. As long as he's aware and able to keep track of the Matari, he can deal with her somewhat. However, Tianhai is actually able to potentially take down these characters. If he does get the grab, they very well might die. They very well might be eliminated, whereas Yuei-shun can only really peel. Unless he's running the Impale ultimate with a V1, it's unlikely he's going to be able to do a significant amount of damage all in one go. So it looks as though Bang, AFL, sort of playing a bit of ranged neutral here. Yak having used that F already, ready to throw out the Wisp. See if he can find a pick, but it's not to be. KFL immediately turn around, recognizing that Bang is not looking to fight it out just yet. And we have this typical lull in action you usually see around this time. 10 minutes mark, we've got 19 players alive. None of these teams want to be caught out in the open, fighting it out against a different team and risk getting third-partied and having their game shut down. All of these teams just looking to prepare themselves for that end game, find the right positioning, go for the right rotations. It's going to give them the most value. They're looking for potential high ground, looking for good, just defensible positions. You know, KFL looking to lurk on the edge of the zone here, trying to stay as inconspicuous as possible. But yeah, I imagine that we won't really see a fight until this next zone closes. I imagine we might see. Oh, there it is. I was saying we might see a fight just before, or at least some teams just sort of forcing each other off of certain territories that they're trying to secure them for themselves. Mado, the last man standing for PSA, is fighting it out up against Bang. He may have been spotted out. I'm not sure if he's been able to resurrect his teammate just yet. KFL still very happy to just chill in the vicinity, just not looking to do anything just yet.
Yeah, they could take a little bit of time here. I mean, Moonbane is about to show up here in just a moment, and as well as a location coming through. This area is vertical heavy, and right now for this comp, especially this comp, I think that switch out from Wei-shun, like you mentioned, like it seems to work through. Like, remember when we had Transformer just straight, when we had Pacific Rim, right? Where they can drop from right at the end of the Tianhai ult, having that opportunity for Tianhai to catch himself in case of little trouble. Like right now, he's getting absolutely melted. I couldn't even get my thoughts out, and Hex just went in, swooped out. Not even the beacon there can save him, bro.
Holy moly.
It's crazy. I was about to say, drop the beacon and save the team, but then not even that was enough. And then all of a sudden, even the hottie ult being procced, trying to place out a teleporter, wasn't fast enough. Hex is on the deletion duty right now. There are 10 eliminations at this point, 18 players total into the lobby, and both shots coming in from KFL as a response towards the actions that were just transgressed upon. And Bang, or not Bang, but Hex, they have themselves of having a pretty substantial comp here. We've seen this comp in the years past. We know exactly the Viper Wu-Chen test. How effective this comp can be, even though we know that the Wu-Chen ultimate can be spotted with Beacon of Light at nighttime. That's also kind of a detrimental force for them to get spotted. But that distance close gap, or that distance to push themselves away from opponents, it's really crucial. Right? You're looking at you're looking at least for a shield wall to be placed up from Wu-Chen in order to give your team at least some sort of range immunity. But then on top of that, you get a free heal, you can get a res, potentially, right? Double players are going to be on the board for a safety net res. But another thing, right, crucial that we make mention before, if you guys are unaware, right, Wu-Chen B1, if you have at least, I think, 80% HP on the bar, right, you're getting an attack buff for your team, for the players if they themselves are 80% and above. And in that attack buff can do some work, especially, seeing how if some Vipers out there are using F3, not to this case, Sachiko actually rocking F2 V3, and I really enjoy seeing that. The ring I enjoy most in seeing why that's the case is because there's a lot of abilities be thrown out here, man. And the only way you can silence before Viper used to just solidify herself with F3 V3, which is a big shotgun blast skill that comes out, and then V3 for the silence just to keep that momentum of being able to be on mobile status. But thing is, we have so many skill-based ultimates where it goes into both V casting and F casting, especially with now with the Matari, that I think V3, F3, or at V3, F2, the silence skill it's at its peak right now, because 8-second silence on a 15 base cooldown skill, having the opportunity of just getting yourselves across the board and gliding. Also, I want to appreciate chat correcting me. Yes, every single variation of Kurumi F does cleanse. So that is, an Uga, Uga Booga.
Oh, it does? Okay.
Yeah, so even F2, right? Well, who's using that, huh? But the thing that comes out, the thing that comes out with Viper, right? 15-second cooldown base. That means you can have skill cooldown on standby for your build, or you can even just go through on that 15 seconds, but 8-second silence on top of that. You can chain that together. You can even look for a grouping up of players. You can glide across the ground, look for that key silence, especially against Mataris, and then continuously put pressure on V3 against any enemy opponents that are trying to catch an F, trying to catch a stagger, trying to catch anything, ultimate cast, things like that. And you can see here, KFL is going to be rocking this Spirit Well for free, and ultimate cast can be preempted here, but they're not going to do it. They're going to pick up a Mystic Might, get hit by a poison shroom, feels bad, but like I said, good timing comes into the ends to be met. There's the RRB coming through, and they cleanse it right then and there. They find a burn, they find a grab, they find everything coming out here. The F2 going to be coming in, but is it going to be saving Korean in a
whoa?
As
No.
elimination, 8 eliminations. KFL is taken to the board. We're going to reach into the 4-minute timer, and this could be a chance for KFL to look for these final eliminations. They got a full ult for Tianhai on standby done.
They do indeed, and I think KFL are actually in a really good spot in this end game as they are rocking this Kurumi. And now that we have confirmed that F3 does cleanse the poison, they can activate the poison mushroom themselves in a fight and then look to cleanse it. As long as only 2 of them get hit by the poison, they're going to be able to take full advantage of these mushrooms. We do have Hex fighting it out over on the other side, up against WKCG Risk getting involved. Everyone is just going back and forth at the moment, whereas KFL are just taking their time. They know that all they need to do is chill. They don't need to force anything. Hex Sachiko, it's as though he just sort of died out of nowhere. I think he fell out of the sky. I genuinely don't know where that body came from, but he is taken down, unfortunately. Hex on this composition, although it is an extremely good composition for early mid-game aggression, it can be a bit dangerous in that endgame, as you don't have all that much potential value coming out from the Wuchen V1. KFL now finding Mado. Mado still the last man standing, fighting it out, using that Matari ult to try and stay alive there. I'm not sure if he's going to be alive for much longer, though. He's still going. It's as though Lucio does go down to WK. Wooey getting pressured off of this high ground by Creditor. Creditor low HP, now trying to find a place to heal up, it seems. Mado again being spotted out there. Last man standing, the solo gamer. He's still going. He's still on his feet. But we'll have to see if it lasts for very much longer. Wooey going up this tree, trying to find a spot to just hide out and just stall, as he needs to try and stay as inconspicuous as possible, as they are a man down. Sachiko unable to be rezzed now, unfortunately. A squeaky on that Wuchen. Not going to get too much value out of the ultimate, as I said before. Wooey doing a good job of staying airborne, not in the sights of any of these teams just yet. However, it looks as though WK might be in the opposite situation. Jin Chen taking a lot of damage, stuck at the edge of this wall. Oh, Dream, that's who it was. I saw Dream getting taken down extremely low. Somehow they're able to disengage and get out of danger. But Ryomen with the double grab onto CG. Pancake going down without using that ultimate. The Kylan ultimate that could have potentially clutched up the heal-off situation for them. Unfortunately, is not going to be usable unless they do find this resurrection. The Tessa ultimate coming through. Creditor now getting hit by Wooey's drop-down RMB. Forced to use that ultimate. Agumon goes down by Creditor. Creditor's hands, but from that ultimate, Hex Wooey still on his feet. Wise, last remaining member of CG, looking to try and stay alive as long as possible. KFL still on their feet as well. Rustam now looking for the drop down Viper ultimate, getting so many stuns. Windy on KFL is going to get stunned, is going to be taken down. Ryomen now be forced into the zone. Silent. Rustam now eating a lot of damage from Jin Chen, coming in from the back with that purple fan, able to eliminate him, knowing that he does not have that ultimate available to keep himself alive, give himself that damage reduction. No, sir. Wise now also is going to get taken down. The last member of CG eliminated. Yak still alive, using that Tumulk ultimate into the zone, splitting this safe zone in half. Squeaky getting stuck, forced to use the Wu-Chen port. Gonna try and get as much as he can out of this. WK looking very strong in this end zone. All 3 members alive. Jin Chen sending out all of these fan RMBs left and right. The poison splash coming through. Yak still alive, but only for a moment. And WK are gonna take the second game first place victory for themselves with 12 thinking. What are you thinking we're gonna be seeing in this game? I want to hear it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like you said, the top 3 to 5th so far is really close through. It can really just be one bad game and then one, okay, we got this going, type game, and then we have a pop-off game. Things like that nature can always happen between teams, especially, even we can see into 5th place, KFL having that position there, they can still skyrocket to 2nd into the 1 game alone. Hex has a substantial lead, right? I'm not saying the players are looking for downfall, but if Hex has a really terrible on-spot spawn, and as well as trying to go through the mid game, getting eliminated after first Romy Yang, it's kind of a Jover moment. But it's always up to the game's play sense. Of course, you're going to see towards the Crow's Nest, we're back here again. After round 2, we are back here for round 3, and you can see how Chile right now is in this whole check situation against Ryomen. Ryomen having to choose out the Hottie, having a really big understanding of getting through with B1 Hottie, but with Forbidden Seal, it's not going to be a chance of going through. And what I mean by that is that with the V1 for Hottie, you see these Hotties being able to go through. They're using the Hottie lever tech. They're getting that thing down to a T. And that means you throw the ultimate, you have the teleport set up, and then you go ahead and release it and disengage the ultimate to get your rage to be retained. But you can see a fight happening in Celestra again, like round 1, this time with Mado, Spooner, and Hakai. But look, it's a Kylan on Mado. First that we've seen it so far for this team, and Spooner's looking to try to get these fist place movements for the shadow steps. He's going back and forth between the 2. He's looking to try to catch out range. He looks for the crouch LMB. He catches that jump LMB. That's going to be elimination. That's 6 elimination this team is taking. On momentum. This is not even the first 2 minutes.
Literally, the off-spawn situation, DSA seems to have it on lock. We've seen them fight in almost this exact same spot every game so far today. Looks as though things might be going awry right now, though. Mado, very low HP, and Hakai already been taken down without having used the ultimate either. I think he might have just been locked down and full CC'd, unable to use it. Mado actually get a heal off Spooner. He's just in there trying to make something happen, having used the ultimate, gets caught by the dagger. LMB focus twice in a row now. Craze catching him both times. Spooner retreating, going over to Mado, buying him a little bit of time to get that reset off. Unfortunately, I'm not sure where Hakai did go down. I'm not sure. Oh, thank you. There we go. He goes down right there. Mado is going to be jumping in with Kylan's ultimate to see if they can get this resurrection onto Hakai. As if they do manage to do exactly that, they are going to be able to get that zipping ultimate online and could continue fighting it out in this skirmish. Mado now, his ultimate expiring. F coming out there, but it's not going to save him. FRW coming in and taking him down, but also all getting locked up by a Tessa ultimate. Forced to retreat. It's just a back and forth scrap non-stop. FRW getting third-partying and now getting third-party themselves up against Hex. Squeaky gets parried, getting caught, but Wooey with a beautiful Tessa ultimate coming in from the back with the fan RMVs to follow up as well. Doesn't matter if you get parried, my boy. I got your back, says Wooey, coming in and cleaning up the fight. So FRW's not done. He's just been... Hey, just get in there, die, we'll go rest. It's all good, no worries. And that is exactly what happens.
The safety net respawn. It's crazy too. This is the second game that we see Hex taking into this tournament today. Where this is the second Viper Wu-Chen Tessa game. So after this point, it will cost 0 points for them. But we have to see how the rotation is going to go through with it. You can see Squeaky getting almost caught out here by the Wu-Chen. The V2 is activated. The V1 for Squeaky, the disengaged team. But they're at the Celestial Quarter. Look at the beacon of light. That's the problem right there that some players can see with the new Wu-Chen coming into play. But here's the thing. Still going to be usable, still viable. Rustin here in the ravine, though, finding out Wooby as he's going to get locked down. You can see the F2 silence has missed the teleport happening here for Matari. The lockdown for the F2 coming into play. Matari just doing the most workout here for the Saga. Wooby having the momentum just backing out here. Rustin looks to the chase as V3 as Sachiko is locking down Lucio. We can see the water wheel. Get out of there, bros. I've seen it happen in the first round. Wooby, what are you doing, bro? He's looking for the armor slot. Possibly the worst possible moment. He has no armor patterns. The wheel was coming his way. There's another team showing up here. The F shield walls isn't going to be in his favor just yet. We got to wait until that comes out. The RB comes out. He can pick up this open right there for himself, but Squeaky gets it instead. Rustum gets eliminated. This is going to be Hex's 7th elimination for the first realm of Yang. They got nearly 46k gold. Call in the bank because I'm making a deposit into the shop. These guys are just going to go ahead and having any opportunity of waiting out the shop's unlocked state where they can get a purple armor for one of their teammates. If they decide to do that, big ups onto them. If not, they're going to rotate for gold for purple weapons and see what they can kind of muster through. And having the opportunity of getting a damage spike there would be a substantial play. But, you know, Squeaky, he has that insurance policy of not having to really, quote-unquote, worry about having to wield purple armor instead. Depending on how the team wants to play this one out, the reason is because once he activates his F1 for the shield wall, he can just keep throwing those shield walls and keep going vertical and having himself in blue focus state. He won't get staggered unless it's a, you know, Zai would have won twos to kind of throw out there. But another thing forced to be to reckon with is that since the shield wall is a shield wall for what it stands for, the name, it will be a way for him to mitigate any range shots from any ultimate focus strikes, such as with a Fairy Shen Beacon. As you can see here, BWG over towards the celestial court, to the courtyard, I should say. They have them chances over here to kind of courtyard to get rage and getting all the fireflies in the cave, but they have only 3 eliminations so far. They probably had a scrap off here for a moment, and then now they're just looting up here as time goes on. They could hit their way into a shipwreck if they decide to go into the western side, and if so, that gives them a lot more room to work with in terms of finding out any extraordinary gold troves there, or they can make their way towards the Jade Pond. That's the eastern side, and just keeping that rotation now for loot, breaking all the boxes, getting all the gold, getting all the currency as much as they can, because gold in this game economy, it's important. You know, Soul Jade system here, they don't have a lot to work with in terms of specialty purple jades and above, but they are going to just keep this slow roll going. And considering that the Aeromech comp is a staple within these matches, and you can see Lexon here with the V2 for the Wei Shot, it's going to be a great substantial play, maybe into the Realm of Yang if they decide to take that onto their own hands.
And speaking of the Realm of Yang, the Gates of Yang are going to be opening in about 1 minute and 20 seconds. We're going to start seeing some of these teams making rotations so that they are in the best spot to be able to jump on into those portals. Revelia over in the graveyard. Zay takes it upon himself to try and catch him with one of those fire cages. Unfortunately, no connection for him. It looks as though they're going to immediately disengage BWG. Oh, wait, no. Lexon's lagging behind. He may have made a bit of a blunder here. Zay now forced to use his ultimate, putting down the cube. Lexon immediately able to utilize said cube and take himself out of immediate danger. However, Lexon still forced to heal up, now forced to use that ultimate with no armor. So if he does come out of this ultimate, he will be in a very vulnerable spot. But speaking of vulnerable spots, FRW spots out this engagement and immediately thinks to third party. BWG, they're quick to disengage. They're quick to immediately turn and head right on over to the 3-ban zone. A very quick thinking rotation to head over to that 3-ban zone, as 2 of them don't have their ultimate. Zay will have his ult relatively soon, but still not immediately. And no chase to follow up either. WK, it looks as though they may have just fought a team, as these players don't have their ultimates up, and they do have a few kills. So I don't know who they fought, but they're definitely feeling alright. 3 eliminations, not too bad. And considering that this team composition doesn't typically like to go into the Realm of Yang, as Wuchen doesn't have all that much power with the V1 in the Realm of Yang, they might simply be happy with what they've got and look to try and third party in the mid game in that Yang depletion situation, where these teams are going to have the Yang depletion and desperately look to try and get those soul blooms to save themselves. It looks as though Hex, PSA, and now CG are all fighting it out on top of this Spirit Well. Hakai has already been taken down, but he does still have teammates alive. Hex doing a very good job of securing this terrain, securing this objective for themselves. Agumon trying his best to stay alive, but not able to do so. Squeaky, on the other hand, has managed to stay alive in the 1 versus 2. Squeaky giving them the runaround, not going down in the 1v2. Actually so huge for Hex right here. CG now at a disadvantage. A man down. Tachiko does eat the Tessa ultimate, but he is going to space out, and probably no follow-up will come through. KFL now in the realm of Yang up against Celestial Moonfire. It looks as though it's a 2 versus 1 situation. Brandoro that eats the F3, and there it is. KFL coming out with a Realm of Yang dub. Very happy to take that purple armor and golden weapon, especially on a team composition such as this.
Yeah, taking the Vermilions right now, key component. And I can only imagine, you know, Hex, their comms. I don't know if anyone's familiar with their comms. When Squeaky was at 1 HP, I could hear the decibels ringing through my, ringing through the game.
I hear it from here.
I can hear it from here, all the way in NA. But the other thing that comes out as well is that the fact of the matter was that you saw how Sachiko was able to rotate and catch a double stagger with the F2. That, with the silence, is enough opportunity for Squeaky to back off there. And KFL catching that victory in the Robiang. Big ups on them, catching that power spike, catching the buff, and of course just being able to now rotate around the map if they can find the rotation. But here's going to be Chili finding elimination against one of the FRW chaps. Here's going to be a chance for the R&B to 1-2s. That's going to be the team synergy right there. It's Sobloom picked up for the Wuchen as Taliska is going to be picking that one up. Going to be rotating towards
this he's in the bush.
Yeah, you can see the bush. They found him in the bush. He's not hide for long. IK3 going to be going ahead and going like a Tress Leches, but get eaten up real quick. Of course, if they are not careful, he has to get ultimate. He turns around, which is the same. But there it is. The gate silence. No sense on it. Catching that F2 silence in the thick of the thin after the first Takeda Fury Blast had been initiated. This is going to give HY 7 eliminations so far for this team. They're taking everything they can in terms of the board for the main, for the main course. KFL though, this is over towards Golden Tortoise, south of the Breezy Maze. This is going to be chance over to the north of the Moonlit Courtyard, but Matara gameplay with a aerial rent, a nasty combo. Yak's going to have to force ultimate here. You can see it. Predator getting caught to the parry. It's going to be clean. As you can see, Yak has looked for the V1 Weishon ultimate. Misses the spear jab. Of course, he is looking towards Rustum now. He is let down into the corner of this hilltop. Gets caught to the grapple stagger. Another lunge coming out from Yak as he's just throwing out these charge attacks as the almighty general. And looks, cancels ult, goes straight to picking up the Sobloom for himself. As we know, Ryomen is very, very keenly in utilizing the lever tech as Hottie and is getting better used to it more and more as more time comes by. He's able to get himself to the conservation of rage after placing that teleporter. It's a really strong position for Hotties to be able to utilize in their team play and just catching themselves in the moment of, getting their team out in difficult situations, And the one thing that comes out is it's a really strong tool because when you are in the process of the animation of taking that teleporter, right, you're immune to damage. You don't take damage. You're basically being able to get out. The only things that are going to catch you, right, is like a Viper's Ton if you're not careful, unless you space it out just far enough or just, getting caught by the enchant. But other than that, it's just about anything can come through and getting iframe through. If you're really good on the timing, you can actually just go thread and thread it through. But Spooner finds FRW's final remaining teammate. Kermi ult force procced out here, and you can see whether or not Spooner's gonna be looking to try to look for a parry bait. That's the first clink. Does keep them locked down. Looking for Hakai to look for the lockup here. There's gonna be another clink. Now it's gonna be a switch to the rolls. Looking for the wind blast. Little blue focus. That's gonna be the release, and that's gonna be the kill elimination. Party number 2 takes into 7, or actually 8th elimination to this game with 16k gold on standby.
Indeed, surprisingly, actually. It's quite funny that we got the little abilities display there, the little tooltip. I was going to note it regardless that Spooner is actually opting to go for the V1 F1, and that is the ultimate that doesn't give you the sand wisp replenishment when you go through the wall. Interestingly enough, he's seen. I am assuming that he sees more value in having the ultimate last for a longer duration, as with V1, it does last 16 seconds, I believe, whereas with V2 and V3, it only lasts for 12, I think it is.
14 seconds for 14? V2, and then V3 is for 12.
Okay, yeah. So, I mean, it's possible he just simply sees the value of the V1 for trios, because I've definitely seen him play V3 in solos, interestingly. So, an interesting little side note.
Some trivia.
Indeed. But it looks as though Bang, unfortunately, hasn't had the best game so far. They do have a blue armors, however, they don't have a kill to their name just yet. It looks as though only one team has actually been fully eliminated. We do have another team, CG, with one player left alive, and we might soon see them also get eliminated. But for the moment, we have another Realm of Yang, ladies and gentlemen. KFL going to be going up against Rewinding Rain and his team, Shizi and a Noob Slayer. KFL Yak finding a very nice little chunk of damage onto Shizi, onto the Karumi with that purple longsword. Now, Windy jumping in to that Farrier mech, trying to get a little bit of damage, forced to use it to heal for himself as well, as he had been taken down a little bit low. So Yak is now having a taste of his own medicine, getting comboed by Shizi, immediately able to get back, space out, and get that reset. And so Ryomen, instead of using the cube tech, just dropping it down, cancelling the ultimate, it looks as though he's opted to actually utilize the ultimate fully in this fight, off the rip at least. Yak now, having used the cube, but forced to use the ultimate, going to try and keep this tempo up. Kurumi now on her own in the 1 versus 2 against the Hardy and the Yueishan ultimate. Nothing he can do, unfortunately. Rewinding Rain now also in a rough spot, not able to stay alive, unfortunately. And KFL taking home another Realm of Yang win. Huge for them to be able to get their hands on a golden armor and yet another golden weapon. As in a Mortal War in the second Yang, you get gold armor. Was that a slap I just saw? I think it was. Taliska getting slapped by Bang, but it looks as though he immediately disengaged, as he wasn't feeling the fight. Wasn't feeling the fight just yet. Korean, oh, he's found his he's found his courage, but perhaps misguided. I'm not sure. It's not looking like a winnable fight, I must say, especially considering that Taliska does have that ultimate ready to go at a moment's notice. Korean getting chased down by these spear RMBs on the wall. Or terrain. Korean able to send out that blue. Ooh, turns in the last second. Very close. A little close for comfort, if I might add. Taliska still on the chase, though. Korean just buying more and more time. It looks as though HYPERCUBE has managed to get the resurrection on their final teammate, and now all 3 of them are back on their feet. However, the same cannot be said for Bang, unfortunately. AFL now coming out of their Realm of Yang, having gotten the win. Looking for the rotations, going to be lurking around, looking to see if they can find some kills here. It looks as though they may have spotted out Shizi. The rematch? Question mark?
Rematch? Part 2? Legend Boo?
Indeed.
I'm thinking about it. This is going to be crazy, though, because KFL have like the roster right now for weapons, and they're still trading out. They're buying the Jades that they were able to finally purchase into the shot, and taking that into switching out and seeing what they kind of working on hand with. It's really strong to see Yak, though, with that longsword. We saw him into the Roman Yang, where he was able to just catch any sort of R&B uppercuts with the longsword, and just keeping that momentum going. It's also to note that he is, like we said, he is rocking V1. He is rocking the lunge jab for the waist shot placement, and if you can land that on a target with either a minimum purple weapon, you are deleting their health bar as a whole. And on top of that, right, it's a really great pairing for your teaming to just release blue focus as the release is made, just insta kill somebody if the timing is right, and then if it's impeccable, you find it down. Now towards the Noble Cave, we do see party number 11, Praise, having the chance with Bomb Brandoro. That's a Moonfire looking for the try to go for the R&Bs up with three-piece release. Of course, you can see WK are having a little bit of trouble here. The Mortal Plan is already procced out here for the Wu Chen. There is Jin Chen getting removed. Praise activating V2 onto the quarter of this ridge line, finding a universal slash to be utilized there. That's ultimate is confirmed onto Praise. However, 6 torches into the Fermi circle and everything will be A-okay. Maybe looking for the R&B and keeping in the note, keeping his teammate alive, more importantly, in case that fight decides to test towards the limits. Praise looking for him chance for the grapple stagger. As Cannon on standby, not using you just want to try to get the grapple stagger. He finds T on the standby for the scale rushes, but you can see Bomb in the background. He's just looting up. He's just like, oh, let me see. Do I not get diet?
You guys good over there?
What's my core count for today? At Andy's body. He's trying to figure out what's gonna be the move, and of course, getting that Soul Bloom crucial, right? We always make mention of it. The offensive pressure in the team to catch that solo is kind of the basis, especially since Brandoro has to be that one force that teams are going to be worried about in the end game. But here comes Bajin getting elimination against Rewinding Rain over by the event's High Temple. BWG finding their eliminations. Phoenix Blast and Thunderstorm on Zay right now. Ripple Step and the Erudition on Lex, and a decimate of just deterrent for any teams that see that purple focus come out. They get caught in the clink or they get caught by the telegraph motion of it. But not far away, literally not even 200 meters away, not even 100 meters away. They are looking to run right past Spooner Squad. Spooner Squad is coming through here. Mado at 1 HP right now. I think he's had to force proc ult for whatever reason, because right now he's looking to reset here as his HP is really low. And you can see Lucio is just trying to getting hunted out here. You know, Spooner just making his rotations out, trying to locate what's going on here and there. Hakai having himself to get a little bit more action that he's kind of used to, while Mado is trying to trail behind and try to find out what the case is. I'm not even sure where Hakai is already over here. Getting solely focused out by a team, and I think they took the initiation of not going in there because it might have been too late. Team call outs.
I think, yeah, exactly.
Team call outs might come through. Like, listen, it's already over. I'm already dead. Don't try to save it. It's going to be 2v3, and you're going to go up against Tessa, who has a soul now. On standby, she's going to get her ultimate again, so don't do it. And that's a really smart motion. If that is the case, that way they can just go ahead, disengage, and come back for the game fights. But Lake Yellowleaf, there's another scrap off happening here. KFL going up against Celestial Moonfire. Brandoro in a position, Duncan. Going to go down.
Yes, he is indeed. Just as you say, Brandoro does get eliminated. The pressure coming out from the Farrier Mech just simply too much to stand up to, unfortunately. KFL are playing around this terrain very well. The Hepta coming through onto bomb. It's not looking good for Celestial Moonfire. Craze does manage to get his teammate back online. Brandoro does get picked up, but unfortunately it's not going to last very long. Craze was not able to jump in and use that Kurumi circle to keep them alive as he was peeled off. And KFL are going to be fully eliminating Celestial Moonfire, unfortunately for them, going into this endgame. It looks as though they turned their sights right on over to BWG, who have taken up the very top of that tower over there, looking to try and hold that down. Mado over there in the distance. I think Yak may have spotted him out just now. Mado, I'm not sure if he noticed. He's immediately going off into the distance. I'm not sure if they did manage to resurrect Hakai after he did go down in that 1v3 situation. As you said, the call was likely to just leave him to die, as it was unwinnable, and that it would be too late for them to come and try and save him. BWG now doing a little bit of shopping, managing to get themselves a secondary golden armor, as not only can you buy purple armor in the shop, but you can also buy golden armor. Very nice addition. I very much like the changes made to the shop in Immortal War, as it creates a lot of potential for macro play. And when I say macro play, I mean things such as rotations and like decision making, like big picture kind of things, where we're going to rotate to, where we're going to hunt, what we're going to look to try and do in this game, what are our objectives, etc. And because you can play around the shop and what can be purchased from the shop, it definitely falls into that category. Unfortunately, though, for Hakai, KFL did trail them. They follow them all the way here, and Hakai, being the zipping on white armor, was not able to stay alive, unfortunately. And Spooner and Mado have yet again been told to just simply leave him to die, even though they did already res him once. Unfortunate for Victor, and as well as his teammates Spooner and Mado. Gonna have a rough go of it going into this endgame, I imagine. Moonbane now coming down, splitting up this final zone. The 80% Moonbane. Love to see the Moonbane. Lots of players just lurking around. Speaking of lurking, KFL lurking at the edge here next to BWG. Not looking to fully commit just yet. KFL, looking at the number of kills, they have 12 already on the board. I think they are very happy to simply try and make it all the way to those final moments and get the best placement possible, as they will be able to translate their points, their kills into more points going forward. Hex Wooey as well. It looks as though he's lost his teammates. I'm not sure exactly when this happened, but he is the last man standing on Hex. However, they do have 10 kills. So if Wooey's able to stay alive again, gonna be able to get more points due to that kill multiplier. BWG vibing, chilling. They too have a decent number of kills, not as much as Hex, but still a solid number going into this end game. WK Tizzy T also looks as though he's on his lonesome. A lonely Tessa definitely could wreak havoc in this endgame if he's able to find some good ultimates. However, it's definitely going to be rough as he doesn't have too much mobility in the Tessa kit here. Looks as though BWG and KFL are going to be contesting this. Spirit Well, Yak getting absolutely exploded. Forced to use that ultimate. The F3 now coming down. Silence coming through, but not too much value coming out of it, unfortunately, just yet. Yeoman losing all of his armor. Hasn't decided to use the ultimate just yet. Yak going to try and use as much of this ultimate as possible and potentially secure this Spirit Well, as if they do secure the Spirit Well, they will be getting the buff that comes along with it, and with that buff, they're going to have their ultimate timers completely reset and get the full rage back, be able to accelerate in this lobby. Yak going up the sky, and there it is, they get the buff. It looks as though it's White Tiger's prowess, and Yak's ready to go once again, immediately using that ult.
I'm telling you, man. That man knew. He was like, he went to the teleporter, dropped down. He's like, no. This is our territory. And he took that setup for the 100% rage, and he's on an onslaught mode. I mean, the thing is, this flip side, if you're a great Wei Shot, you know exactly where things go through. Even if you're a good Wei Shot, you know how to move up in terms of using that verticality with releasing that whole charge attack, just picking up and then releasing again and jumping. And that's everything that you kind of work with. Now, Yak just got silenced. And he's deformed. And he might get stunned onto this vertical side of the cliff, but there he goes. He lands right on a side that did not work in his favor. No sense. Finds Dill's spam. Focuses enjoyable at the very least. KFL still has White Tiger's prowess, right? This is heal over time. This is a damage spike across any sort of nearby targets if they do find a kill. In fact, the Realman having himself, he's been doing the lever tech a lot lately, and he's able to kind of conserve his rage as a result. So if everything comes out towards this play style, Realman will try to keep as much as he can for his team in terms of Windy to stay alive. Now, Yak, potentially, I'm not sure what's going to be the case scenario, but Windy is in his position right then and there. And locked in here. This is going to be KFL's corner here. Cannon shots from in here from HY. The cannon shots just doing some pelt damage as much as they can. And of course, Taliska having to really just put in that work is also going to have to really depend on the repair chest rotation, right? We're at 3 and we're about to go down to 2 real quick. And depending on the team's rotation supplies, HY could just keep this pelting action going for as long as they can until the zone starts to close in, like right now. Now, Merciless Havoc gets revealed. Taliska is going to be the one reason no one can enter this top of this wall, and Taliska is going to be just trying to negate into the range shots as well, having the opportunity here to have a massive game to supersede the lead that they lost, and they're trying to catch up onto it, and this game could be it for them in order to do so. The V1 Wu Chen port is placed, maybe having Taliska to look for a chance of using it in an offensive manner or fashion only when no sense is ready. They want to do the TE strat and pulling up. They could do anything like that, but Taliska looks to try to back off here. Sees the F2 Matari, goes right back into the zone. A little bit of damage, but not going to be too much. Chili, though, losing a lot of armor here. Still has known sense. They're in the middle of all this action. Where's the F1? They asked Taliska. Taliska's like, I got you, homie. Looking for it. Going to go for the armor heal. No, instead, they're going for the port. This port's in the zone. And this port's not going to be safe for them, but look at Chili having that audacity to throw that Tesla ultimate. As appealing as it might seem, it might work out in the chances. Chili gets eliminated as a result. Double Tesla is going to catch both HY instead, and Taliska actually going to go ahead and getting focused down here. Another Tesla ultimate coming into play. Looking like Taliska is going to be getting himself into the high ground. We see all this action down here. We can see the Tizzy getting caught through into the zone. He's losing a lot of health from the zone itself. No sense has to be one ready to go here to the, oh man, the Schooner right then and there doing the menace with the whisk throw. He's going to be going ahead and really just putting himself into work here. As you can see, the potty is just flying around, locking No Sense into the zone. This is big zone damage he's taking. He's going to get locked out completely if he's not allowed to get back in. It's going to be a pressure for the V1 for release. might be getting a stun. Not going to happen. Not going to be the case. Going to get killed by that wave shot. Lexon catching elimination for the team. This is where BWG is catching those eliminations that they were making up for. This is going to be really good for them. Into the case scenario. Last 30 seconds on the board. We can see Feliska getting himself into the zone. There's a clink. There's a kill. Scooter looking for himself. That misplays R&B release. F3 silence comes in here from Scooter. He's loading up it. He's going vertical. He's got F ability ready to go here. Mado though in this position. Predator gets eliminated as we can see. Looking for the R&B release. There's the double kick. Boom! Two points with the double kick. Gonna get himself into the corner. He's gonna be going ahead and looking for the ultimate cast. Getting Lex into the area, but the HP threshold is too strong. Who's gonna be surviving out this at the end? Because it looks like Wooey has the highest HP, but Lexon has Weishan O active and ready to go. And this is where it's gonna be up to the both players. But KFL Ryoma goes down. BWG Lexon stays up. And that's gonna be a chance. That's the game they needed in order for them to stay alive. 9 eliminations for first place, but man.
But as you said, the podium here is an extremely important objective for quite a few teams. Speaking of Hex, they do love to land there, and it looks as though that's exactly where they've gone at the beginning of this game. But we're taking a look at WK here. We're going up against HYPERCUBE. So Andy, unfortunately, has already been taken down. Oh, the slap coming out. Boom! Slapped right in the teeth. But it looks as though they've managed to equalize it here. It's not too bad of a situation. Dream. Oh, beautiful parry coming out from Chile there. Right out of the air, I believe. I'm not too sure, but jumped up, got the jump parry. Beautifully done. And now we're taking a look at Luke Slayer and Co. up against FRW, who are going to be taken down, but it looks as though KFL coming in with the well-timed third party. Perfectly done, able to come in and snipe away a couple eliminations for themselves without expending all that many resources. Now jumping on over BWG up against Celestial Moonfire. Bomb taking a bit of damage, getting overheld by Zay here. BWG on that Sand Siphon composition. Celestial Moonfire on Wuchen, Tylin, and Hardy. An interesting comp that I haven't seen just yet. I'm not sure. Bomb taking a bit of damage. Still trying to find some entry here. Nexon taking the last few chunks of health off of Bomb. Unfortunately caught in a bad spot. Not expecting that R&B craze. Forced to use the F. Trying to double tap dodge back. Trying to disengage, but it is not to be, unfortunately. Not able to make it out alive. And BWG look as though they're coming out on top in this initial engagement.
Bang, and they're going to have a really good time of just working out that TNI ult from BWG Lexon. Backing off here into the corner, it will be an interesting sightline for every single one of these guys. Nice teleport from Revelia as they back off with that teleport and using the parasol to their advantage. They got a lot of ground to cover here, but seeing how TK6 is not going to be focused down here, is going to be a chance for BWG to find elimination. TK6 getting caught to that kill. And of course, Lexon looking for the R&Bs for that pulse sword swings and looking for the momentum for it. Kicks coming out from Aurelia, of course, in stone form again and again, but Lexon goes down. This is going to be a 2v2 right now. The Peruvian was out here for BWG right then. And Zay looking to try to keep the capitalization off of this R&B. Maybe looking for that F3 usage. Perfect kick from the face. Revelia looking at Lexon in the sense of using that ultimate from the Crewman to keep the mitigation going and keeping it going loud. The res off of TK6 is crucial. If they can get this res right now, they'll go ahead and make a chance. There's a res. It's going to be a perfect F3 usage from Revelia if someone decides to rush in here and try to anticipate it. But the F1 comes out from TK6 to try to look for the lockdowns here. There it is. Zay having his chance with his own F1 in response. You can see Revelia keeping the tether alive. There's the first tackle coming through. TK6 finds it. There's another kick. It's pelting against Revelia. The R&B comes out. The parry is met. The gold dual blades, or the purple dual blades, are picked up from Revelia. And everything is turning around right now. Korean just got eliminated. TK6 is now by his own lonesome trying to lock down with Zay in tow with his Spirit Blast instead. But look at this.
Oh my god!
Coming through here. Double kill coming out from Revelia, turning it around. But CG makes their chance for a perfect third-party opportunity. And Bang loses out to the teammates for their first life yet so far. We will have to see whether or not Revelia comes back into the play. But it'll be an immense chance of getting the team 3 eliminations and just staying alive for a bit longer.
Indeed, that was insane. Revelia just turning around and unleashing that double charge focus from those purple dual blades. Insane. And this is why purple weapons in Immortal War are so important. If you have a purple weapon off the rip, you're going to be able to do a considerable amount of damage, considering that in Immortal War, you don't have you don't have gold loot. Purple loot of it in and of itself is also very rare. You can only get it out of high tier troves. So you can only get purple armor, purple weapons out of a golden trove. So if you do manage to get your hands on one, it can be the difference in winning and losing a fight at the very beginning of a game. And there we are, a perfect example. Revelia demonstrating the prowess of such a weapon this early on. But taking a look now, moving on over to the desert, it looks as though Noobslayer, Rewinding Rain, and Shizi all looking for some loot. They do have a couple eliminations, but they definitely could do with some better armor and better weaponry, as if they do run into a team that is a little bit more stacked than they are, they might find themselves in a very bad spot, a pretty disadvantageous situation. But we'll have to wait and see. I do think that the Realms of Yang are going to be spawning in relatively soon, or at least we're going to have the notification that they're going to be spawning relatively soon. KFL running the rotations out on this icy lake, spotting out the Bang and HYPERCUBE as well. Trying to see if they can find a third-party opportunity. Rioman taking a few pot shots at these players, not finding any connection just yet. Just playing a bit of back and forth ranged neutral here. Rioman now getting engaged on his team, immediately grappling on over to HYPERCUBE Shanghai. The parry bell coming out now. Rioman trying to space out. It looks as though Windy has not been able to do the same. Forced to use the ultimate inside the Moonbane that HYPERCUBE has utilized now. It looks as though the call might be made to just leave him behind and let him die, as KFL does have decent loot. These purple fist blades, you don't want to be losing them. As I said, purple weapon, very important. It looks as though Yak and Windy have both been taken down. Rioman now last man standing, and he's probably going to be chased down to great effect by this team.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit tough right now for KFL, getting caught into the first elimination. I mean, right now, HY they're showing up to the scene. You know, No Sense puts himself right here for that third party, as WK forces out King High's ultimate as a Wei Shun. He's looking to try to lock down inside of this Moonbane as well. It's gonna be tough. I mean, he's gonna take a lot of pelt damage from this Moonbane blast. I mean, it is theirs, but if anything comes out, right, if any of the other teams are deciding to run in there, it's gonna be a risky play, because you can see CG are arriving to the scene. It's the second time we've seen CG coming through, and they're looking to try to utilize this ultimate for their Temi, as Pancake is able to release it and looking for an immediate possible swap off. And that's what King High is looking to try to just like capitalize on. You know, King High is going to be going ahead though, just deforming here as time goes on. Of course, he is going to be trying to back off here as a result of this team play, as Chili is going to be forced into this position of just being left behind potentially. So party number 7, aka CG, they are going to be looking towards the portal, and you can see King High is going to be hiding in the zone, something where where he wouldn't be located otherwise. But Chili went through the portal, it looks like, considering that he is going through and being got into a position that rather not want to be with, rather than this team gets eliminated as a result as CG is going through. But WK right outside the portal with HY, we can see King High actually going into the portal himself and might be coming through into regroup with Chili. As we know, Romy Yang is closing in, spawning in. Teams are waiting for that on the other side of the map, but these players are going ham. They're going, going crazy. Mado getting his fights on with Dream, and Spooter getting elimination off of Andy here. There's a Romy Yankee here. Sunwing is flying through in, sweeping in. Coming with a Kaka real quick. 3, 2, 1. Dropping in there. Where you at? There it is. It's going to be spotting in, bros. And you're going to be getting this 3 rooms. 6 teams can enter each of these rooms. There's team number 1 entering it. We see Spooner resetting 2. That's team number 2. Potentially. A lot of teams would actually want to make sure they can put themselves in a spot of waiting out Romy Yang to get a free one, potentially. Just because things that kind of work through is that they get a free buff, potentially, or someone's going to contest it and they have to fight it out. Now, FRW, in their prime right now into Romy Yang, they're going to take this fight to their own seldom, and this is going to be the fight between FRW and Snoop Slayers.
Indeed they are, and here it is. Oh, the Kailin coming in, swooping in with that blade. We've got a Valda online as well here. Valda, wait, Mary's on the Valda. So this is the GG comp, if FRW IK3 though, taking quite a bit of damage, forced to use this Farrier mech, and imagine to get some value. Shizi is going to be going down on that Matari pick, unable to stay alive. The burst damage is simply too much. Yueishan doing work as well, able to peel Mary. They come out of the Valda ultimate, still pretty healthy and not in all that much danger. Now rewinding Rain on his own in the 1 versus 3. An unwinnable situation, unfortunately for him. It's looking like FRW is going to be able to take this Realm of Yang. A quick F3 shot, very, very nice. Securing themselves a purple armor and a golden weapon. It also looks as though we've got some fights going down in the kill feed. Risk taking down a member of Bang, I believe. I'm not sure if that's in a Realm of Yang or if that is a fight taking place outside of the Realm of Yang, meaning that this team might be very close to being eliminated out of this game, out of this lobby. We'll have to wait and see. FRW, having gone into the Realm of Yang at the very edge of the map, aren't going to be able to immediately capitalize on the fact that they have the buff and they have this scaled loot, as it's unlikely that they'll be able to find a team close by since they're so far out. But they're definitely going to be grappling, fully spooling to see if they can find a kill or two to capitalize on said buff. However, rewinding Rain and his team having come out of the Realm of Yang, having lost with that Yang depletion, and now looking to force the fight onto Bang, but Noob Slayer getting absolutely obliterated here. Nowhere to go. The Tumult ultimate pushing him up against this cliffside. Not able to move, unfortunately, and now rewinding Rain is the last man standing with 3 minutes left on the clock. Is he going to be able to come back and res his teammates? Only time will tell.
Yeah, rewinding Rain had to invest the ultimate, but Temi has counteracted that one move, and as a result, had to back off here. He lost out Noob Slayer first, then Shishi. Now it's up to Rain to just trying to back off for the next 2 minutes, but this chase is happening. He's actually going to be an instigator if he actually does his right. Bang is going to be running in here against HY. HY is going to be coming through. Let's see who's going to focus on to, because they're in the bush right now. They're actually in the bush right now. They're going to be waiting this out for placement. We take those placement gamers. Because partner number 2, Mado, Spooner, Hakai, they're going crazy with this Wu Chen V2. I mean, I can see it coming in the vision. I can see it. I sense it. I smell it. And of course, Brandora finds himself into the sight lines of using his Highland ultimate to get to high ground, avoiding the V2. And of course, Spooner finds a Sagger midair against Craze, looking for the midair R&B. It's kind of a risky play. Gets caught to the grapple instead. As a result, F2 invested. Combo breaker. Gotta get burnt out so that way he doesn't get caught through by the forces below. And he repositions towards the western side, might be making his way towards Falcon's Perch, not too sure. But FRW Mary in the kill feed. Risk Creditor goes down. Rustin, though, finds a kill off of Shun. So it's a 1-1 right then and there. Rerunning Rain. made his way into the blue gap towards the Achilles Crest, and now he's going to be focused out here with the F2 coming in for the Matari. You can see KFL into the ridgeline with partner number 11, also into the Brandora with Celestial Moonfire into the vicinity of this fight. And you're going to see this level 3 swing for the kill steal not going to happen. The Soul Bloom pickup is going to be immense. He's going to find it. It's going to be up to partner number 2 to find that through, because Spooner has his teleporter ready. He's going for the level 3 swing, potentially, hopefully, trying to catch someone into the vicinity like Bomb, who's now out of the Hottie ultimate and is now going to be forced into a spot he'd rather not be in, and is chased by a Hottie. Hottie looking like Spooner is going to be looking for the swipes as long as his team can go ahead and commit towards Saggers. Finds the elimination as a result. The team found their 4th elimination as a result. They're going to have the teleporter to be utilized there. And Spooner, nice timing on the teleporter. He's going to get himself out there and hopefully get the reset he necessarily needs, because if I'm not mistaken, by this point in the time, all the teams should be converging at this stage. I mean, we know that Spooner right now is going to be trying to go for kiting as much as possible here, you know, playing out solo style. He's going to be keeping himself alive as long as he can, considering his team is separated from him. He's doing a great job avoiding the pole sword swings. A strong force army avoided. You love to see it. Brandoro is probably, you know, tilted. The army didn't hit, but he's moving faster as a result, and Spooner is going to be going into a straight line under the corridors of the Achilles Crest. Of course, there's the F2 coming in to support. It's from Mado. Mado going to go ahead and forcing himself in the fight and just keeping the distraction going.
Indeed. Best disengage EU. He has been called. Our boy Spooner, the legend himself, manages to disengage and make it out alive. And unfortunately, it looks as though the reason why Brandoro was so adamant on chasing him down was the fact that he had Yang depletion. and was going to go down in a matter of minutes, and he has in fact gone down to that Yang depletion, unfortunately for him. I'm not sure if his teammates are still alive, and if they managed to get some soul blooms and are going to look to resurrect Brandoro. We'll have to see, but for the moment, it looks as though Hex managed to secure themselves the Mystic Might from a Spirit Well, and now looking to go shopping and do a little bit of purchasing, see if they can scale up even more than they already are. KFL not looking at all that scaled. The blue Hangsword, the blue armors, not looking at super scaled. However, they are running a rather interesting composition. Kai Lin for Yak. I've met Yak's Kai Lin in solos. He's definitely been playing it quite a bit, and I'm interested to see how well this composition can do, considering that Kai Lin could offer a lot of setup for Ryomen as the monk here. He could potentially secure some grabs due to the CC and the stagger coming out from the Kai Lin ultimate. They're deciding whether or not they want to go into this realm of Yang. I think they've decided not to go in, as they weren't able to get one of the Yangs for free, and they don't want to take this fight as they have only blue armors. They might be going up against a team that's managed to secure all purple, gold weapons from previous Yang dub, etc., etc. It's not the fight you really want to be taking. Secondary Yang has definitely been the riskier Yang to go for a very long time, simply because if you do go down in the secondary Yang, you're still forced to find the soul blooms due to Yang depletion. However, because it's the secondary Yang, there are far fewer players left alive on the map, and there are far fewer teams that are actually looking to commit the fights. And if you get forced into taking a fight, into engaging something because of this Yang depletion, you could very well find yourself getting third-partied, as a lot of these teams are going to be watching out for that and vulturing all of these POIs, looking for said third-party opportunities. Speaking of, it looks as though CG managed to find themselves Draco Storm buff, and Hakai is going to be the target. He's trying his best to stay on his feet. The Wu Chen ultimate did come out. The Blade's healing so well. It's almost as if he's got Draco Storm on an ability right now. We don't need Draco Storm. We got Wu Chen. Okay.
Man, don't worry, man. I got you. You know, I got armor regen too. You know, I am Draco. I was like, whoa, that's crazy. I think one thing that comes out too is he can actually zone control corridors too. You know, like if he throws on the ground, if they try to taste him, right? They got in the stagger unless they're holding blue focus and they can go through. Then the heavy blade strikes down, and then they're like, oh well, I'm stuck. And it's very interesting to see its dangerous composition with Kylan, Wu Chen V2, and a Draco Storm all in one. Like that's the big three. If you have that going up against you, there's staggers at least you're worried. It's just surviving.
Gaming.
Interactive gaming. Hold B. I think one thing that puts Wise though right now at the Kurumi with the Draco Storm is interesting, right? Because you would think that like, you know, Pancake would take it, but the Kurumi also gets the sustain necessary, right? So she puts herself with the Draco Sword to put the extra sustain off of it and just keep herself, you know, pulling all the directional forces on her, and she gets sustain because of that heal that Draco Sword does provide. Now, keep in mind, once we hit into Spirit Wells, right, it could be any buff coming in here. It could be Mystic Might, it could be HexHX prowess, but if I'm not mistaken, when it comes down to HY right now, they're just looking to try to get themselves just a purple armor on standby, or just any sort of upgrade, and it's keeping Chili there for that mitigation. No sense having blue armor still. White Tiger's prowess picked up now, and one thing that keeps White Tiger's prowess, you know, in strong foothold too, is whenever you get those kills, you're not getting mitigation stacks because of the kill. Each kill that you grant yourself is 2%. It stacks up 3 times, which means you give 6% mitigation on top of the mitigation that you now have, right? So it's a separate stat line that comes through, similar to Juggernaut, if you guys are familiar, where if you get kills, you get Juggernaut attack, and that's a separate attack from your base attack stats. Same deal goes with White Tiger's prowess, where essentially you can mitigate 30% of the damage coming your way if you have a fully stacked WTP buff on standby for your team. And that goes a long way, especially just taking pelt shots here. A little bit, 6% goes extremely far against higher rarity weapons where you're taking at least, you know, the damage that's coming your way to be negated by a good proportion. On top of that, a heal of 25 heal per tick, it just does work. It does work for you. You and your team don't have to really worry for a lot until, you know, obviously until burns go into effect and you lose a lot. But there's a lot of fights happening in the kill to the activity feed right now. Rustum going up against Argamon and whatnot. These teams are going into tassel format. Rustum having to force out the teleporter from Lucio, throwing out his F3 shield wall in case any sort of grabs, and he has some E2 cast ready to go inside the building. This is exactly that lockdown I was talking about. Rustum, though, it has no armor to his name, but he finds Wise.
They just get caught.
Wait, woo! Finally, the eliminations coming through like that. This gives them exactly what they needed, and not only to that, they eliminated the one force that had Draco Storm active. Now Rustum really looking at Argamon like, hey, I have no worries here. I have no enemies. And he's really looking to try to lock him down and force himself to go for those blues as his team is staggering through. And that's going to be a 3-man wipe that Risk just took with ease.
Jeez, I think it did come down to CG overextending here because they forced the chase through the building and they'd used the Tianhai ultimate. And it's not as though Tianhai can grab through walls with ease. You know, if he gets right up next to the wall and goes for a right-click close-range grab, you can potentially get a grab through a wall. However, it's not like he can do it very easily. And just being split up there, both of those teammates just running on through, trying to chase them down, a little bit too eager, especially considering the composition they were running up against. Wu Chen just throwing down that V2 right in the doorway and just having the time of his life, having a good time, whereas CG definitely did not have a good time there. Bit of a blunder. It is what it is. But heading on over to HY, who've managed to secure themselves a nice little spot here, the edge of the Moonbane, just looking to buy a little bit of time, chill out just a little bit. There's no real reason to fight at the moment, as they also have quite a few kills under their belt. I think that's 9 eliminations so far, a solid number to be taking in to the end game. However, it looks as though they might be running into KFL. If KFL doesn't portray strength here, they might find themselves getting engaged upon. Hex also in the mix, very close by. I think I saw a golden armor on Hex there. They're looking pretty scaled up. BWG looks as though they've picked up the red bounty, the challenger bounty. I'm not sure if it's simply because they're feeling confident or what. But I will say though, this challenger bounty it's Mystic Might without the defense buff. It is very handy, especially in these late game rotations where you know that certain teams aren't necessarily going to be full committing. You can take the challenger bounty without as much of a risk, as if a team does force the issue on you, you can see them coming. You're going to be able to scan the area and know exactly where these teams are posted up. You're going to be able to manage your rotations extremely well. So definitely a valuable pickup for them in this endgame. Speaking of, we're going to be this NT player, gentlemen. Quite a few players alive, although that number might reduce very soon as we have a fight between BWG and KFL over here that Hex is looking to come in third party.
Lexin on the proc, bro, man. He had to. He saw he heard the F1 from Takeda from the backline, and he got Temi on his back. He swapped the armor. He's like, I gotta take the time of opportunity right then and there. And Lexin now has a regroup with his teammate as KFL are into this corner. Grabs might be had. As you can see, Ryomen into the backline. Kylan Ult going crazy over there as Yak is gonna be putting his motion into the zone as well. Just trying to space away from the Tianhai. And he's also trying to avoid those grapple staggers if it potentially came out from Zay. For instances, but since Lexus is now out of ult, guess who's going to put the push? Hex. They have the opportunity of doing so. You know, 24 players still to this point, 6.5 minutes left. We got a Moonbane still to drop in here in just a moment. So this is going to be a really interesting Moonbane spawn if it comes into where the most of the plays are happening. Lexon taking this time to scare rush up here. There's going to be the Moonbane to the eastern side, so it's not going to have much of a threat here for now. Now, Lexon looks to try to scare rush, try to kite around into the rooftop, just keeping as much as he can to kind of rotate down. Now he's on the first floor. Now he's in the face of his teammate, Spooner, right to the scene. Striking like might be revealed. F2 is coming out here. This could be where Spooner's going to have to be playing it safe here for the Blue Release. He gets caught to the Blues, and there's going to be the teleporter being utilized here. As he's going to be looking to try to get himself out of danger, and he will be successful in doing so. While they break down that beacon, all the blue armors in the world are under BWG's guys. They got him on the hand, and then they're going to be going ahead and hearing all the violence happening outside right now. You see AFL's going up against Hex, as well as Hex going up against Bang, and Mado's going up against No Sense. It's going to be a fight between every single team that's in the vicinity right there. Now, Korean having the RMBs to be released here, trying to lock any sort of range shot that are coming down their way. Hex having control of this building right then and there. Moonbane still into the effect. And this team is a really, really, really open spot right now for those range shots coming from the rooftop. FRW going to be the result of those shots as cannons and pistols and everything of the nature comes through. Cannon having a prevalent position, having the chance of being able to utilize those Jades as well if they have it for Rupture Yellow Orb. You can see it coming into play here for Korean, just launching out cannon shots on cannon shots. Got 5 repair chests on standby, so he's looking good in that department so far. Just a matter of being able to catch 2 forces on opposite ends. That's what they're going to be really careful of, right? We know Korean, you know, to mulch having him that F-up ability, if he decides to want to mitigate range shots going his way, it's a way. But if he uses it, it's a combo rigger as well. So it's going to be a risk move if he decides to go down that route. They take hold, though, in the stronghold that is this building, and they have a perfect way of just shooting out cannon shots through the rooftop to get a hit confirmation here. And you can see it. The blade coming out. Gold spear onto Lexon here. Gold dual halberds in his hand as he's trying to go ahead and just scare rush out. Doesn't want to lose that Temio onto the window. So it's like looking at a twister outside of your window. You're like, oh, wow, it's tornado warning. Huh? And if everything comes out here, Korean's going to have to really be careful about his usage of his ultimate here. He's going to be waiting this one out. But if anyone decides to walk in here, if he finds prioritization on using ultimate, it's clear cut victory then and there. Maybe giving him a chance coming out here. I hear parries in the background. What's going on out there? It's going to have the chance of seeing Ubi dropping into the building here. You're going to see a Whistle coming out to the play, and you're going to see a chance for the Beacon to be dropped in the corner for the Kurumi ultimate. And if Korean tries to take the cannon shots to the corner, you can get health damage for free. The Clink comes out here. Korean looking for the R&B spam. He's looking to try to go ahead and force himself into just releasing all these blues as much as possible. Deletion of the parry 10 Beacon might be the next priority. Listing, there's a parry coming out here. Mary was keeping eyes on the ball, and there's going to be a chance for switching out to the spear. The Whistle comes out. The Cicada Fury Blast comes into play here for TK6. Revelia still has ultimate active. Looking to switch out towards the purple halberds in the hand. The Revelia ultimate comes out for the Kurumi, having ultimate still in his hand. Korean is still going to hold this out for the less 3.5 minutes until right now, and trying to go for the attempt for the res. Mary looking for the parries and has to activate the F3 as that ball does. As Duncan said, the GG comp is out here to play, and this could be a chance to see about the sustain between all the teams.
Absolutely. Mary going to be looking to try and regenerate that ultimate charge going into these final moments, as it is one of those really huge ultimates when it comes to the heal-off situation, as that shield counts as health and you don't take damage from the zone. But we've got so much fighting going down out here. As you said, the sort of tornadoes outside your window. It's a red weather warning, ladies and gentlemen. HYPERCUBE posted up on top of the building, trying to stabilize, trying to get that reset off. Bang, still holding on to this spot, to the inside of this building, trying to deter any team from engaging and taking their real estate away from them. But it looks as though we've got Risk taking a fight on the outside, getting taken down by IK3. Unfortunately not able to stay on his feet. AFL also in the mix. I'm not sure whether or not Risk has other players alive. Looks as though BWG is also chilling on top of the building. We have Spooner jumping in. ESA trying to make moves on this spot, on this little bit of space inside the building. Korean constantly throwing out cannon shots up against the ceiling, up against the walls, as the splash damage does go through terrain, able to try and farm up as much ult charge as possible before it gets to those final moments of the zone. Zone now closing in, forcing them outside of the building. Shanghai getting caught up by one of those Tumult Wisps, managing to escape for the moment. Hex also on this corner. It looks as though BWG looking to come online here. Lexon with that golden weapon could be doing a lot of damage with those slams if he manages to find the grabs. Revelia does get grabbed up, going up, looking to greed for the secondary grab, and there it is, the double grab coming through. Mado and Revelia both getting eliminated immediately. Damage is immense. Bioman coming in with that right looking to try and knock back Lexen. However, Lexen reading for the secondary grab does take quite a bit of damage from that, not able to come out of ultimate with a decent chunk of health. However, he does have that armor. BWG now trying to stabilize with this Kurumi circle, trying to stay inside. Ryomen getting aggressive, looking to go on in there. Doesn't have ultimate available, trying to farm up that ult charge. No sense now coming online with that Farrier ultimate, looking to throw out these turret shots into the mix. Lexen getting bounced around. Bang Korean using that Tumulkev to try and stay on his feet, throwing it down, still alive. Spooner does go down, unfortunately. Mary, who does have ultimate, but not able to get it off in time before getting taken down by the zone, by that storm. Windy also getting caught between BWG, not able to stay alive. No sense now going over to grab this Soul Bloom. A little bit of a dangerous play though if he comes out of this storm and takes a little bit of damage directly to the health. Fortunately able to get that heal off just before taking that damage. Squeaky now at the top of everything. Sachiko has been taken down. Wooey and Squeaky trying to fight it out, trying their best to stay online, stay in the air, stay airborne. HY Chili does have ultimate online. Lexen did use that Monk ultimate, but not able to stay inside the zone. Unfortunately, pushed out by Ryomen. Ryomen now taking a lot of damage. Extremely low HP. The parry bell coming out on the G transformation, but no capitalization. Unfortunately, it looks as though Hex Wooey is one of the last men standing, but not going to be the final player alive. HYPERCUBE able to clutch it up and take home the first place finish. You have to pop off, or you know that you just need to have a decent game. You don't need to go crazy. You've already got a lead. You sort of set yourself up for that final game with the 5th game. And let's have a look-see here. Oh! Right off the bat, it looks as though WK are contesting Hex on one of their preferred drops. You know, Hex has time and time again demonstrated that they really like landing on the Salvation podium here so that they can secure that high tier loot early on. It looks as though they've been contested and they might not be able to secure that Morris Blessing off the puzzle. But we're moving on over to the north. Imperial Village, AFL scrapping it out up against Risk. A beautiful parry coming out from Windy. It looks as though this might be all she wrote. As KFL have a player advantage here. Windy still trying to chase down the last remaining member of Risk there. We'll have to see if that ends up being the result. Heading on over to Metab, Shizi, Moodslayer, and it's something Rain. Rewinding Rain. A very nice name, I have to say. Very interesting, but it is a bit of a tongue twister. HYPERCUBE, though. Indeed. HYPERCUBE starting off strong. This is exactly the kind of thing that they needed to happen. They've already picked up 2 eliminations, and they may very well pick up a couple more, as Shizi and Noobslayer are going to be coming out of their ultimates very soon.
Yeah, the investment right now in the Metab is substantial for this team, right? Almost catching 3 eliminations here. Noobslayer being the final remaining teammate here. Having to have 3 ready to knock back. Shanghai going to be going ahead. Or for the double LMBs, I think Noobslayer out. And that's going to be the 3rd elimination they're taking through. Now, back towards the Imperial Village. We got KFL Windy coming into play here. He's going to be going ahead and getting Tati elimination. Brandoro on board for that one. Ryomen is on pelt duty, but there he goes. Getting caught by the Fairy Shen Beacon. Trying to get indoors as fast as possible. It's raining outside. Gotta get out of here. And of course, he's gonna use his F2 to get it through. And Ryomen has to look towards these sets. This is very dangerous territory. If he gets caught by any of those traps, he's gonna be forced himself in a position of not being able to grapple, and he's tracked by any of the enemy teammates that are able to activate the set trap. Now KFL Ryomen catches his grapple bump undeterred. Still gonna grapple again, and gonna be backing off here. Windy getting res into the midst of all this action. Windy coming back up. Yak gonna go ahead finding a parry, getting himself right then and there, the face of Pancake, and Ryomen just looking for his field of view. He's going to back off here. The ultimate is out to play, and he's going to be just getting straight to the river and just trying to find that chance of healing back here. Vegene, BWG's teammate, finding an elimination off of Craze in the background. Lexen is also fighting up against Bomb as a result, and they're actually up against Brandoro. So for that team, for Celestial Moonfire, it's going to be a tough call whether or not they're going to be able to survive out here, because every single one of these teams are looking to try to utilize any of their last hits opportunities from this point on forward. Now, Ryomen finds another F2 after that Kylan slash comes through from the shield and slash. Now, of course, Rend, being that V2 variant, has that clone to come back afterwards and hitting a secondary hit on the target. So you have to keep that in mind when you're going against Kylan, of just being careful about how that ultimate is going to conclude your lifespan in a short matter of minutes once you get caught to that second stagger. But Ryomen finding the time. The high ground has no grapples. It's his team getting shot down through here. Windu is eliminated, and Nyak, it just makes the appearance that he did not need to have to make, because now the team sees him, and they might be going for the chase, just going through these tent lines towards the eastern side, and they find Ryomen off the rip. Looking for him in the corner. Harry, as a result, there's the army release. There's going to be the escape. The F2, the grapple dagger. They're going to be LMB out the army, and again, going. That's going to be where the eliminations are going to be coming through, where AFL, you know, not
what are they
he gets spotted. It's a loud sound if you're going for that res. The F1 comes out here, and it's going to be a chance for Yak to look for the whole check of the Destiny. Having that stone form, release on the R&Bs. TWG just find the 3-piece picked up like that for $5.99. Your local chicken shop. Just like this.
I was going to praise AFL for after he got spotted out there and allowed BWG to continue chasing. I was going to praise them for allowing Ryomen to take the L and die there in the 1 versus 3 and have Yak escape, because Yak had all the money. Yak had 14,000 Sharktide coins on him, and if he was to get out, then that would obviously be the best possible situation for them. But he goes back and goes for the greedy res, and it costs him dearly. But heading on over to the south, FRW up against Hex here. IK3 throwing out those fan R&Bs. The Kurumi ult is in play now. It looks as though they're going to be moving away from it as they're trying to continue the chase onto here. Wooey, not full HP and no ultimate to his name. Looks as though it's going to be a bit of a neutral fight. Squeaky's already been taken down. A parry coming out from IK3, but Sachiko able to turn it around, equalize some of that health, and able to take down one of FRW, equalizing the fight. 2 versus 2 now. Mary trying to send out these pulse sword hits. Wooey doing a very good job of staying on his feet, half charging, staying out of there, but he does get parried now. The Tumult ultimate is in play. The grab from the F1 comes through onto Wooey, getting slammed down. Sachiko taking a lot of damage. Sky high, trying to away, but not do all that much. 1 HP situation. It is not going to be, and FRW are going to shut down Hex at the beginning of the game. However, Risk taking this perfect opportunity to come in and catch FRW, licking their wounds, trying to reset, but they are not going to be able to do anything of the sort. Risk immediately committing that to Mulk Ultimate to be able to lock down these players in their weakened state and quickly make short work of them. HYPERCUBE now. A bit of a scrap situation. Spooner on the run, it seems. HYPERCUBE, Kanghai in that Farrier ultimate, trying to get a little bit of damage with that turret, but not finding the connection just yet. They are going to be continuing the chase, though. Will Spooner make it out alive? If anyone can, it's Spooner. However, he is not on his signature Tumult pick. One of the reasons why he's able to have such good disengage, as Tumult has such a low cooldown on that combo break. However, on the Liam, on the 28-second combo breaker, it is a very big difference. And it looks as though he is going to go down to HYPERCUBE, unfortunately.
6 eliminations for that team, too. So HYPERCUBE's they're racking up the eliminations. For Romy and Zay, it forced him to chill and guard stay. He's going to get caught in another grab, and this is in the zone, so this is going to be a Jover experience. BWG, 7 eliminations. Risk going to find their 4th out of Zay's body, and of course, over toward the trenches. We're taking a look at the scene about this bell. They're going to be able to locate any vicinity teammates, but FRW in the vicinity, I saw them boys over there. They're going to probably coming in here for a third party in the zone, but, you know, HYPERCUBE with the 6 kills, you know, they have maybe a good opportunity of hitting into realm. They don't have purple armor, but they have purple weapons, at least to one extent of their teammates, with Kanghai having it and not having ultimate. He's two-thirds of the way for the rage bar. He's going to have to really look towards and just trying to mitigate as much damage, maybe peel out with F3 and just hitting some targets when he comes into realm if they decide to take that fight. Otherwise, maybe rotate towards the Spirit Well, anything of the sort towards Metop region. It's really up to them how they want to proceed. They're doing a really well placed off lead. You got around 12k gold on standby. That way they can just go ahead and shop up and see what's next to work onto their macro gameplay. Of course, when the Sunwing drops down here, we might get some teams to enter this immediately as the impression follows suit. We have 32 players still left alive into the game. Having opportunities to have a lot of lives to stay into the end game, hopefully this time around. Bounty scroll right there for them to pick up as HYPERCUBE looks towards the bounty scroll. waiting it out, potentially after the Romy Yanks disengage, because sometimes you can get griefed. If you pick up a bounty scroll while Romy Yanks happen, and if a team is fighting in there and they lose, then that disengages your bounty scroll value tremendously. So they're gonna wait this out. Having a Realm Yang nearby, perfect. But Tizzy T and as Team WK are fighting out Bang, it looks like this gold Hong Sword is in the hands of WK. After their victory against Hex at the Salvation Podium for contesting it, Bang Plum looking for the R&B hold check to be successful with the F1 investment. You can see Tizzy looking for the throw was immediately upon entry, looking to try to get that parry. Nicely done. As he drops down here, he does have ultimate for the V1 ready to go here for that 60-second duration, but he gets caught mid-grab with that chance. This is huge. As a Fairy Shenzi can give up enough damage out here. Tizzy does have the F3 though from his own Kurumi, avoids that whole entire grab and has the opportunity of ulting here. Perfect opportunity for Tizzy to keep that team on the push against the Tien Hai and just getting free range shots as a result, using the center mass of the Temmie ult as a deterrent. But Temmies can jump in, or the Tien Hais can jump in at any point in time they feel it necessary to do so. They jump right straight through. And you know that Plum is looking for the offensive push. He has a full armor nearly to the extent. There's the F1, there's the R&B release. The F3 comes out here though. We can see a silence coming up from a shot from the Fairy Shen, and as Revelia puts that pressure, R&B comes out. There's going to be a swing. It's going to be a 2v3 now. Bang, Korean looking to try to go for those flinks. There's a teleporter taken into usage. Korean going to have his chance to try to look for a level 3 swing again as well. It's only going to be the case scenario if he can catch a really good position. There it is. Takeda Fury is best. He's going for the back line instead. Looking for the F3. Avoids it. 2-1. There's the damage. Not going to come out here. Still have another second left. Now Korean's on ground level duty. He has F2 ready to go here. The F1's out. No blue focuses. Please don't brief it out. Should be the blue focus coming out there. If the F2 comes out, the Kurumi ultimate is again available. Looking for the Dragon Slayer again. Maybe for the uppercut. There it is. Jump LMB to the jump LMB. Big chances here for the horizontal parry coming out from Korea. Turn around on the sentry. Uppercut. He's going to do it again. It's going to be a chance for the plan. If he can catch that secondary second, he's not going to risk it. He's going to go ahead. Backing up. Kiting. Plum. Probably going to get focused out here, but no, Takeda is hungry. 5 seconds. And this is the possibly F2. Light around. Looking for it. No musket shot. There it is. Both shot. No. Didn't happen. They both met their fate. This is the first time we've seen this so far where both teams have not succeeded into a Realm Yang victory today.
Indeed it is. Both teams now with Yang depletion. It's going to get oogly. The Yang depletion situation, the desperation coming out from the teams as that Yang depletion timer ticks down. You need to get that Soul Bloom. We'll have to see what comes of it. For the moment, we've got KFL up against Celestial Moonfire from Brandoro and Praise. Rioman in that ultimate, trying to get maximum value. Using all of the ultimate, not opting to cancel after using that cube. Going for the re-engage. Windy has ultimate available. Yak taking a bit of damage. Praise now being the focus. Mystic Mike giving them that defense buff. Giving them a little bit of extra power in this duel, in this fight. As KFL only has the Vermilion Bird's Might. They will be able to res close by if they decide to do so. If they go down. Beautiful parry coming out from Rioman. The double parry coming through, and Craze goes down in the corner, not able to escape. Now Yak ultimate coming online with the Yueshan. Craze getting that Soul Bloom. Rioman picking it up here off of Craze's body. Now looking to continue the chase to try and help his Yueshan lock down these players. But it looks as though Brandoro has been told to immediately disengage and fully spool away. KFL though, they might get caught out in the open. Bang, it turning up, looking to try and third party this. Even if, thing is though, if they die, it's not the end of the world. Rioman looks as though that may be the case. He had been silenced, hadn't decided to use his ultimate just yet though. He does have it online and ready to go. Still saving it. Here it is though, from also in that Ferrier ultimate, silence, not able to go sky high just yet, and has already been bursted somewhat. Pretty low HP already. They might be able to force him out of that Ferrier mech and be able to try and take down Tien Hai that lies within. The Rioman constantly trying to find openings with this Hardy ultimate, not able to do so unless Yak able to lock down Plum in the corner. He's not able to use his ultimate, takes him down, and KFL are looking to turn this fight completely, fully commit here. Their buff is going to be running out very soon, so this could go very badly if the fight is extended even further. Rioman now does get silenced with the F3, going to turn it back around. Windy in that Ferrier ultimate, able to peel off the players. There it is. Windy, what you do? Okay. Woo! A little close there. A little close. A little sliver of health goes into the zone to get the Soul Bloom. I respect it.
I respect it too. Yeah, I was like, I mean, you got Vermilions to get burned out here, I guess, but like, what's going on here? Yeah, it was kind of scary too, because I was like, okay, so we got two options: we go full Ooga Booga, we go for the kills, or we burn Vermilions, and they just went full, and they succeeded. So now they're still in the game. You got full resets going through here. They're working out their magic. Gotta have to see, because this is this area right here. This is Grief Zone. I know I talked about the overworld effects like Howling Gale, but the hands on the ground, man, those silence hands, 8-second silence potentially, like getting hit by that can grief any fights that happen in this vicinity. But not gonna be the only fights happening inside. There's gonna be fights happening right in the cusp of it. Freddy taking a full V1 to the face. That's tough. That's an immediate deletion that they just took to their face that they did not take into consideration. There's gonna be R&B as Yak sees that double slash coming in from the way shot bomb. Trying to look towards the res on Craze, and Brandoro is trying to like just back through here, but here's the crazy part, right? If they allow this res to happen because of Kylan coming back here from Brandoro, he doesn't have ultimate for right now. They could go ahead and put their position on this end, bomb, backing up to the corner, or the section of this, looking for the grapple stagger, looking for the chance. Bomb putting himself in the position. But the Spice are switching out here. New play looking for the fan R&B spam out here if he can. Big hospital whisk throw. Of course, Dream is looking to get the stagger potential off of that. Can't do it. Too many forces at hand. He has a already recast for that ultimate. Switching out for the R&Bs again. Noob Slayer finding himself in the face against Takeda. And Romy Yang depletion's about to kick in for WK. All three squad fights just like that. And that's going to be a tantamount position that they just lost in trying to find Soul Blooms as a result of that fight. But party number 9. They're going to catch themselves 10 eliminations, and that's double digits that they'll earn themselves for the keep with that gold console.
That's insane. That is very unfortunate for that team. Although I will say it is very nice for Noob Slayer and co. being able to pick up those eliminations due to the Yang depletion. Having damaged them last, they do get the kills, even though they don't actually die by their hands necessarily. But we're going to be jumping into the secondary set of Yang. Here we are, BWG up against Risk. Predator taking a lot of shield damage there. Lexon also in a similar position, going to be getting his ultimate online relatively soon. Risk Predator on the Monk, does get the grab onto Bajin. Zay not able to peel, not able to really do anything just yet, but he's going for it. Jumping in with Kylan's ultimate, but Bajin is already down for the count. Predator looking for the close range grabs, not able to find anything. He's just deterring the push from BWG. Zay now lining up a scale rush, the double scale rush coming in potentially. Rustum getting immediately focused down. The cavalry bloom coming in from the back to peel. Zay able to use that combo breaker, still alive, taking a bunch of chip damage from this cavalry though. Whole Sword Stoneform does not protect you as much as the Grey Sword does. Zay finding the scale rush onto Rustum, but the F3 is going to come through. No damage for you, good sir. Now Zay is left in a 1 versus 3 situation with a very it's a very slim chance of coming away with the stall out or the dub for that matter. And Risk going to be able to secure this Realm of Yang win, getting another 3 eliminations on top of the 4 they already had, taking them up to 7, as well as taking them up to golden armor for the Tianhai.
Yeah, and the thing too is that I always like the micro gameplay of those pistol shots. Like at least to the case scenario when someone switches from melee to range in like a split second, shoot a shot, switch back to melee. Like little poke damage here and there goes a long way, especially when your team is doing the nifty work of keeping someone at bay. Zay was looking to use the F1 there, and I saw the parry mode being activated, and then afterwards you see pop, 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 pistol shot, pop, over and over and over again. I'm like, all right, it's time. We're going to get that eliminations one way or another. It's going to happen, regardless. But here's going to be the chance here for that V3 to see again. Coming out from part number 2, as you can see, Mado is having the F1, right? Massive V3 comes out. Massive freeze, potentially. There it is. Double man freeze into the corner. But he's going to be looking to try to kite around here if he can. Now, of course, KFL coming into this lake, they could realize that their fight's happening here, but Risk is already on the move here. They won their Romy. They might have Mystic Might. They might have... Not going to commit towards it. It's going to be going off the range, and Mado just keeps this kiting pattern going through. F1 again. Remember, this is a full armor region for 2 bars. there's a Flamebringer coming out. Another V3 from Mado. Catches the freeze on Chi-Chi, looking for the arm to be released, and that's going to be a immediate waste on Ultimate. Because now there's another team here. He's got to keep that in mind for his squad, just in case of anything coming through, blocking them down. As the instigation was successful, Mado can now disengage from this whole encounter. There's now a fight between Chi-Chi and the world as we know it. And for Risk right now, Kanhayo comes out. You know, Chi-Chi's going to have to back off here. He can't stay here for much longer. 10 seconds left on his waste on Ultimate. He's going to look towards the news player, rewinding Rain, and hopefully that they follow the same pattern of recognition. Mystic Might proccing, giving him vision for another 10 seconds while it runs out here. So it'll be a good chance to just to see about where the enemies are last located and just maybe looking for a way to engage and disengage. Either or, they're taking that engagement to the foothold. You're going to see the fist blades coming in here, the grapple stagger coming in, Rustin looking to try to go ahead and trying to back off here with the LMBs with the dual blades and the cablooms that's revealed. For Predator right now, though, he's looking to kind of go out. This is for a D form right there for the Tianheim. Have FL ready, has a very shed beacon on this point, double parry right there.
Huge.
Oh! Going to bring himself to the corner. Chi-Chi is going to take that barrier, shed, and beacon, and going to be looking to try to keep himself alive for a little bit longer, but the Flamebringer says otherwise. If he gets caught to the burning, he can't get as much healing, right? It's 50% less healing as a result of that burn, so he's not going to get a full armor heal as he was hoping for. Goes for Cannon Shot. Kylan's now locked into the zone for a little bit longer from Zay's side, but Lucio is going to have ultimate ready here for that Temi, so at any point he feels locked down BWG, he can go for it right then and there since they are disengaging to the same corner. But look at this, Chi-Chi looking for those Cannon Shots. He's going to disrupt this whole fight. There's Lucio ultimate for the Tem Mulch, and with everything, another fight happening here as we can see HYPERCUBE are arriving to the point of just being able to locate party number 9, and obviously right there, Zay finds a kill off a Predator. Risk is going to be losing out one teammate. That's a solo to get rid of the soul of the Rumble Yang depletion. And that way they can just keep themselves going in the game. Lexington find a kill off the Lucio. This is a double elimination against Risk right now. And I'm really curious to see what's going to happen over there because those two teams have been added to this round.
Absolutely. BWG, having lost in the realm of Yang, needed those soul blooms, and it looks as though they were able to get exactly that, finding Risk in the third-party situation, able to eliminate at least a couple of them. We're still on Noob Slayer here and his team, having come away from this fight, having been third-party and managed to get the reset. The mech does go down, but they're not able to go inside it just yet. They're trying to space it out and not use this cooldown just yet. Noob Slayer has almost accrued all of his ultimate charge yet again, but he does get silenced mid-air, taking a bit of damage. He does get the mech up, but is he going to be able to pop it down? He does, jumping right on in. Cheesy is charging up his ultimate as well. Shanghai going to be coming out of that Yueshon transformation, coming out now. This could turn the tables here. Rewinding Rain in ultimate as well. HYPERCUBE might be in a bad spot. Shanghai, very low HP. Rewinding Rain, fully engaging onto him, but the mech! He jumps into the mech, but he doesn't go turret form immediately, and Noob Slayer able to catch him with the snipe on the turret, taking him down and turning the fight in their favor. Now, Cheesy looking to continue the chase as he does have his ultimate available. He can pop it if need be. Silence coming through onto No Sense. Noob Slayer looking to follow up with that grapple LMB. Gonna chase down this Ferrier. No Sense losing a lot of that armor, but will be able to get that ultimate online relatively soon. Chili able to use that Hardy ultimate to perfect effect. The Cube coming out, saving No Sense, extending his life, and now diving into the Moonbane as well. Moonbane very close by. Oh no, wait, did it just expire? I'm not sure. It did. Okay, so the Moonbane, although it could have been a very good cover for them, it does expire, but regardless, they're able to use the tunnels, use the caves to make their escape. What a turn.
It's
genuinely.
Siege Tabber, man. It's a Dune reference. They're in the games. It's crazy. They had to look towards this as Noob Slayer looking for those 1-2-3s. Re-release those, but F3 shot, switch up. Love to see a Noob Slayer making sure he can keep that stagger going through for the gold focus shot. Now Noob Slayer goes right back into the cave thinking about it. I'll go ahead and full commit towards this. And of course, you know, No Sense is in his ultimate here, but if any other team is looking at this team or looking at a Fairy Shen, they will beat him shot for high hell, crossbows, cannons, pistols, everything, name it, you know? Throw a corn dog at her, you know, I don't know, some just random stuff, just go, throw them all. Everything comes out for No Sense here as he is going to get caught by a Flamebringer, and that's the worst enemy right there. That's fried oil, and he can't handle it right now. He's on a diet. So everything comes through. No Sense is going to have to really just back off here. Looks away, trying to keep as much momentum, keep as much movement going as possible. Looking for a scare rush to the spot. Looks for the F3 shot. Back off. Okay, maybe a little bit more movement than we were anticipating, but there it is, locked into the zone. There's Kylan just doing Kylan things. And this is a free throw move that this team can take for the Kylan to get his ultimate back up. And there it is, right in the edge of the zone. Perfectly timed, perfectly placed. Zay, though, forced chilling guard. Going to have to heal up here. Has the time to actually catch some double slashes here available. Oh, he's looking for the offensive here. Ooh, going for it. The Toddy teleporter looks to reposition himself to locate where that target was going. No Goose Slayer has been spotted, but here's the problem. Zay is at like 200 HP right now, 200, 300. And he's going to have to be careful about anything that comes out his way in terms of burns, stuff that affects his HP bar directly. So while that goes through, here's a good tech here. If you see HP J's being dropped, that's because when you're using a Vitality, it's a flat 500 heal. Your HP is percentage based. So when you drop your HP J's, instead of going from like 1480 at max cap, you're now going back to 1000. You only need 2 armor powder heals rather than 3, or 2 Vitality / healing berries rather than 3. Keep that in note. Do it in the micros in a couple of seconds. Try to do that. That way you can just try to save as much resources as possible. Because at this point in the game, final 6 minutes, it's all about resources right now. It's Raven would say, right? It's a war for attrition. You would always make that point because it's only coming down towards his to the play of making sure you can try to burn out as much resources or try to keep the sustain going as long as possible. And for right now, Yak is going to be in ult form, try to disengage here. Full gold armor for both Windy and Ryoma, but Yak's going to have to take time to reset. So I'm going to hit that ice butterfly, please, because that could grieve a team completely if not given the right circumstances. And they're going to be going through going through this little bit of a ravine dip, and they're going to be looking to kind of see what's going up here. We still have a Spirit Well still yet to be dropped yet. I see it in the southeast corner as the teams might be looking to try to prioritize that. Remember, you can proc ult beforehand and then go on the offensive and then reproc. That's where rage-based ultimates may not have much value, but single cast ultimates that just go ahead and just burn your ultimate rage bar for a set duration, like Takeda, like Kylan, things like that, those, or even Matari, right? Those are ultimates that could just do work if they have a secondary cast right on top of it.
Absolutely. It looks as though Hex is not looking too hot right now. I think only 2 of them are currently alive, a bit split up as well, trying to stay as inconspicuous as possible. Noob Slayer and his team managing to fight through the onslaught. All the third parties are still alive, still together. It's as though Mado is also on his own here. Spooner and Hakai have already been taken down, but Mado on that F1v3 to be able to stall out extremely well as long as he doesn't get silenced, as long as he doesn't get locked down and fully juggled here. We've got a bit of a fight going on between KFL and Hex here. Wooey extremely low in that Kylan ultimate, managing to make it out of line of sight for the moment. KFL not looking to push the issue, not looking to continue the chase, as if they do, they might open themselves up to getting third-partied, getting locked down by another team that look to try and take advantage of that fight. But it looks as though Noob Slayer and his team are getting engaged on fully by BWG. BWG trying to take the initiative here. Oh! Yak!
Man.
And Wooey's still in the bush as well. Somehow doesn't get hit. That's insane. That's actually nuts. Yak weaves that clear R&B, catching the target he wants, or the only target he even knew was there. Winding Rain now in a bad spot, gonna get caught by the F3 to finish him off. BWG also, it looks as though they did manage to take down Mado. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to stall out long enough in the face of a 3 golden armor team. It is not an easy task. Now, Squeaky on that Matari, using that ultimate, it seems, low HP, trying to disengage. Yak looking to chase him down now. Zay getting silenced by the F3, but BWG is still pretty strong, still pretty healthy. Yak trying to spot out the weaker players, and there it is. Squeaky does get taken down by Ryoman. Zay does have ultimate back online yet again. He could pop it up right here, right now. Windy using that Ferrier ultimate. Ryoman also in the Hardy ultimate in the sky, trying his best to heal up, but not able to. Lexan catches him on the drop down after Zay knocks him out of the air with Kylan's ultimate. Actually insane. Very nicely done. Not easy to hit, so definitely a very nice play coming out from Zay, able to weaken this team that was looking extremely strong going into this end zone.
Going to be a really strong 2 minutes coming in here. Lexington having ultimate still to his name. F1 ready to go here. Yak's looking for these lunges. He finds that for successful V1 lunge, and that's going to be a whole set of damage that could have been done, but Lexington actually able to F1 out there. He's going to have the chance of using this V2 now. Stamina regen at this point in time. 14-second duration ultimate, as we stated before, for V2 Temi. It's going to be an elimination off against Yak here. Zay and BWG, they're finding a lot of eliminations. 16 eliminations this team is taking so far. We still have two other enemies, enemies to look for. Chili, F2 in the sky. Might be looking for Wooey. Wooey looking for placement for the team here. As we can see, Lexington is going to try to keep as much time as keeping sustained on the board, but the Roar Burst is successful, having a chance for Chili to get a lot of damage. The F1 comes out here from Zay. Zay looking to throw him into that Temi Wisp, perfectly timed here. The synergy is impeccable. There's going to be 17 eliminations, and now Wooey attaches a second place position for Hex. Has ultimate, but can't get a way of using it, and that's going to be it for the zone damage coming in. Wooey's going to have Chilling Guard activated, but looking at towards using it to himself. These guys are looking to try to work for a zone. Oh my goodness, he didn't get the hit. Final hit confirmation off of Zay, but Zay did get the hit confirmation off of Wooey, and that's going to be it for round 5. Fourth today so far. We got round 6 to work into. 17 elimination. We're going to be able to see if they're taking it, and they are taking it. And they're going up against FRW coming through in this point. This fight's going to be happening across Plume Castle, Pinnacle. This is going to be the final round, folks. Game 6, EU Summer Challenge EU. And there's going to be a lot of damage. You see FRW's IK3's taking that burn to the face.
Oh.
There's going to be one elimination coming through here. Squeaky finding it. He is not letting go of that Ballista, but we did lose Sachiko into this first engagement. And so for that, he's going to be pushing this in the forefront. He sees every single opportunity of taking that opportunity of pushing forth. And with it, we lose Wooey. This is a 1v2 now. It's going to be a chance to pick up that double LMB. No chance for the parry bait. It's going to be coming out for the whisk throw. He's going to be risking it for the biscuit. No horizontal parry. Not going to see the F2 coming out, but we're switching over to the KFL Yak. We're going to the western side of the whole entirety of the Aquila's Crest over by the Plume Castle. And of course, Yak taking that 1-2-3 to the face towards Phrase, and that's going to be a release. That's going to give this team 3 eliminations off the rip. We're starting off hot, Duncan, and we're starting off loud.
And it looks as though Squeaky might be clutching it up over at Salvation Podium. He did just get a kill onto one of the members of FRW, but we still don't know the full result of that fight. However, KFL up against HYPERCUBE here, alongside Risk as well. It's as though Hex did come away with the dub here, but I think it was largely due to the fact that Wooey and Sachiko were told to resurrect themselves, and they're gonna be looting up and feeling good that they've managed to secure this spot for themselves. KFL now back over next to Plume Castle. Rioman's managed to get the grab onto Taliska, but the F3 coming through for Taliska from his Kurumi, gonna be able to keep him topped up on health, at least for the moment. He is gonna be taking some damage. It looks as though the Moonbane is going to be dropped down and committed on top of this fight. Rioman, no ultimate, no armor. However, Yak and Windy both have their cooldowns available, ready to go to keep him alive if need be. Rioman, there it is, the F3, going to be popped. The Kurumi ultimate as well. Yak coming online with the Tiger ultimate, grabbing one of these players, sending him packing. All these players trying to stabilize. Yak gets caught by a Tumult Wisp mid-air, but able to immediately heal back on up with that Kurumi circle. Chili now getting caught by the Tiger grab. Kurumi F3 going to be coming through, being super, super important for him to keep his life and stay on his feet. Kurumi ultimate as well to boot. KFL trying to fade back here, trying to stay alive, trying to kite it away. They don't want to keep this fight going. Risk now looking to get involved as well. KFL fighting for their lives. They're desperately trying to stay on their feet. It's not going to be easy though. The fight's still going. Rioman getting overheld. The F3 saving it, covering for that parry, but it's not going to matter. He's going to go down regardless. The follow-up is going to come through. There it is. Predator now. Go for those Star RMBs. Who will come out on top here, so?
I think something is going to be coming out through, and that's going to be a parry. Rustum is clean with these. KFL gets a send out for 2 players in the team. I think right then as well, with HYPERCUBE being in the distance, right, Risk is going to take this one for the road. 3 eliminations, right? We're in over to the Pinnacle Town. We still have chances of seeing a Chase Town towards into the Ultra Tranquility if they want to go up that route. But here's the thing, right? HYPERCUBE takes their chances of just playing out safe. They're going to play out in the distance and going to be working them ways into making sure they can enter Romyang's later on by surviving that fight. But double Q coming out here for the teleporter as Hotties from Pancake's side is able to keep the team on sustained gain. Tizzy T making his way, trying to look for those dodges, has the F2, gets caught to the slash, has to take a peek and drop nicely done from Dream to keep that teammate alive. And of course, the shot against Argamon with the silence as well on top of it gives TCT a little bit more than enough room right now to force Argamon's demise. This is going to be the elimination that they need for number 4. Now Tizzy making their way towards, goes straight to cannon mode. CCGYs might be looking for the cannon shot to try to confirm the kill. It's going to be the case. And of course, you know, Pancake's in the vicinity of using the blue focus to mitigate for his staggers, but he gets caught to the cannon shot. Now he's disengaged from that point of using blue focus. Cannon shots again and again. He lines it up, and Tizzy T is just known for this FPS gameplay, because at 6 eliminations, WK might be kill leader so far into this lobby. But we still got fights happening across the board while this team looks to reset. We're going to see the gear to be made out for blue armors and purple weapons, with Dream still rocking the common rarity armor. These guys are looking for the rotation of Rage as a result as well. Dream probably being the lowest as it comes through. Now into the Yushan Ruins, party number 9 with Shizi Noobslayer, Rewinding Rain. This team is on the chase against Mado Scooter Squad. Akai being the first one to go down after this end. And now, of course, the B2 coming in to the proc, but the R&Bs from the Fist Blades comes out and Hakai goes down. Spooner and Mado making their way, rotating out to the southeast, having an opportunity of just looking to try to get their teammate back in. But guess who's on the line? Noobslayer. He is front and center with the fights. And meanwhile, WK Andy back towards the Falcon's Perch. It's going to see HYPERCUBE, and they're going to look for the double R&B release. It's going to be a cube into the face. That gives Andy enough time to back off here. Has V2, but he has no grapples. So with everything coming out, if he has to force ult, it's because he doesn't have the supplies for it. For armor regen, in this case, it looks to be the case. He's going to have to really back out here. Now for Andy, forcing out this hand, getting those arm powder heals, making sure he can try to back off here for a way for the team to disengage. They cannot take the fights that they can't take, especially with the armor that they got going through. But Rewinding Rain finds a kill off with Spooner, and this is still over to the Yushan Ruins where they had occurred over. And meanwhile, WK making their chances into the Ultra Tranquility, finding any tros they can muster for just anything, right? I mean, look, gold right now is at 2600. They can buy armor powders if they want to, rather just loot up these tros, see what they can try to get and save money for. And then, of course, just getting upgrades in the overall grand scheme of things.
Absolutely. Looks as though Hex is also very close to them. This could be a very integral fight for Hex if they choose to take it. WK doesn't have their Hardy ultimate immediately available. However, they would be able to build it up relatively quickly, I imagine. Looks as though Hex is not going to immediately pull the trigger onto in this engagement here. Looks as though Bang going through the rotations out in the desert, moving on over. Celestial Moonfire finishing off Mado here, unfortunately, on his lonesome bomb, committing that Tumult ultimate just to secure the kill. You know, it's in an auto war, it's always best to just use the ultimate. You know, if you extend the fight for it depends on the situation. You know. However, if you do extend a fight, you run the risk, the longer the fight goes, of getting third-partied, and that's just one of those horrible situations that you just never want to be in. Speaking of, looks as though Rewinding Rain was caught in a little bit of a bad spot, but has managed to space out for the moment. Bomb doesn't have his ultimate available, neither does he have his F1 up either, so he's taking a lot of damage, not able to disengage with that F1. Here it is, comes off cooldown, trying to get away here. The F3 from the Kurumi is going to save him for the moment, but he's still extremely low. The timer runs out. Now he can be taken down. The ultimate's going to come out from Praise. The Kurumi ultimate topping him back up. Rewinding Rain in the thick of it here. The UA Channel now going to be committed, trying to fully engage onto this team, fully commit here. Cheesy looks to try and get the slam, doesn't find it, doesn't get the B1 either. Bomb doing a good job of kiting this out on this terrain, on this cliffside. Praise taking quite a bit of damage though alongside Brandoro. The slam comes through, Brandoro 1 HP, the F3 coming out. Gonna keep him alive for the moment, going up the wall. Doesn't manage to make it out alive though, unfortunately. And now Praise also gonna be taken down. Bomb, last man standing. Tumult ultimate is online. He's going to decide to use it. There is nothing left. He needs to try and make something happen here. He's the last man standing, no res available, but it's an unwinnable situation. A Farrier ultimate to deal with. a Tumult ultimate in a 1v3 is not going to save him, unfortunately. And this team is going to be fully eliminated at the hands of Noob Slayer and Co. We're going into the realm of Yang. Bang up against FRW.
Tough fights ahead. Gonna have to see Bang into that realm of Yang, seeing the victory come through here. FRW hatches that F3 for the Zyphon, and of course for the Comet to come out here. We're gonna see an F2 close gap coming in from the Matari. As Bang Korean throws out that whisk, this is gonna be a great opportunity for seeing that Takeda ultimate coming out from TK6, just to try to force out the pressure here as the Matari ultimate is active and that reset comes out for the Zai F3. She's gonna have a chance here, just unleashing a full amount of damage. There's the proc for the ultimate. She has another F3 ready because of the way that skill operates. Now, Bang Korean takes a blow of that hit. And guess what? Kurumi Circle might have not gotten that last second cleanse. This might be a crucial cleanse for them to have for just a little bit extra sustain. And now for everything coming through, looking to try to beat that Kiter. You're gonna be going ahead and trying to look for scare rushes across the board, looking for the 1-2, sees eye for the R&Ds, has him to see Korean just smooth walking against the ground, and he's looking for a scare rush. He can't get it successfully. This is gonna be TK6's kill on site. Korean gets caught by the F2 stagger. It's going to be Bang's downfall here. And as it goes through, going to be revealed with FRW catching that victory and catching the buff, catching gold weapon, catching things that they are now going to take into the overworld and hunt down any sort of players. HYPERCUBE winning out there, Roman Yang as well, getting themselves 8 eliminations, and they got the gold longsword too. So for Takeda, that's like his best friend. You know, say, dap me up, Holmes. Hex though, at the Beast Pen, 6 eliminations. They won their realm. They got Vermilion Bird's Might, and they're going ahead and having Sachiko on the gold fist blades. Now for Kurumi to have gold fist blades, right? That shadow step comes into very crucial moments of just avoiding enemy combatants, just trying to look for the push against her. And if Sachiko can really just keep that momentum, we know how he escapes as zipping in. If he can try to go ahead and schmoove as a Kurumi, nothing's stopping him. And of course, he does have blue armor too, so it's going to be a really risky play in terms of how the sustain goes through. Pancake activating Lever Tech, going to be going ahead and having that Draco Storm on active duty. We're going to see a parry opportunities here from Pancake. He's getting baited out here. He has to actually get the invulnerability for a second. He's looking for the R&Bs again and again. He's going to see that beacon drop to give him some sustain for pushback. The R&B charge up here could be risky for Pancake. He gets caught. He has a teleporter. He backs off. He's going to look towards his Argamon, has ult proc active. We're going to see CGYs take that ultimate for himself as the parry Shen. Now, of course, this could be a way for every other team to notice things that are happening here are not going to be for the cause of reason. They're going to take any opportunity they can, catching eliminations, especially in the top 3. And this is going to be where you can see Bang is coming through into the vicinity towards WK as CG takes some time and just resetting here into the bottom line, just making sure they can try to keep themselves alive for this next engagement. They got Draco Storm for another 100 seconds, so that sustain enough comes out from that. But after that point, we'll have to see what the other teams have cooking up for their push on this building.
Absolutely. Draco Storm doing so much work for CG here, able to stay alive, having that passive healing ticking away, as well as those lightning strikes dropping down on the opposing team, making it extremely difficult to actually take them down. Moving on over, Hex scaling up, taking down FRW. It seems Sachiko throwing hands with those fist blades, picking up yet another few eliminations, taking them up to 9. So many kills going down here, and on the integral teams as well. HYPERCUBE, it seems, I think has done pretty well so far, although HYPERCUBE Chile is in a bit of a tough spot, being chased down by this Draco Storm team. 45 seconds still on the clock. KFL looking to get involved, looking to catch out Chile, and there it is. Chile does go down to that pole sword hit from Pancake. Pancakes, Chili. I'm not sure chili pancakes would be all that tasty, but gotta try it. Gotta try it regardless. But CG, we do have 2 ultimates online available, and there they are coming out now. KFL trying to make something happen using that Tianhai ultimate. Pancake taking a little bit of stagger mid-air, but not deformed just yet. Still a little bit of time left on this Draco Storm, trying to get maximum value, min-max the hell out of this. Yak in that A-Class ultimate, looking to fade back. Tianhai ultimate now expired. The A-Class grab coming through onto CG, knocking him off this rooftop. The CG still looking so healthy, whereas KFL looks as though they might be the prey of WK, who are looking to come in and third-party this fight. FRW also the same mindset. Look at that, KFL Rioman does get taken down by Chile, having resurrected himself due to the fact that he had the Vermilion Bird's Might. But looky here, Hex looking to get involved as well. Sachiko picking up a kill. No armor, but he will be able to heal that back up relatively soon, I imagine, but not before he goes over to Rui to try and heal for his teammate. Rui does not have that ultimate online just yet, but the Kurumi ult is going to keep him going so that he can get it online pretty damn soon. And it looks as though this might be a pretty one fight for Hex. CG already a man down, 2 versus 3 up against Hex. Potentially the strongest team of EU that we've had for a very long time. Wise goes for that parry. He does not find it, and he too will be eliminated. Hex scaling up even more, taking their 9 up to 13 eliminations. They want to take this dub. They want to take the bag. They want the bragging rights, and rightfully so. We're heading on over now to the desert. Rewinding Rain, Noob Slayer up against Risk. Having lost Shizi, Noob Slayer also going to be taken down. Rewinding Rain immediately looking to grapple away into the distance, as he does have a bit of cash. Might be able to salvage the game for his team. Only time will tell. But we're going back to Hex, and Sachiko's down. FRW has seen that Hex use their cooldowns, and they might be able to shut them down in this final game.
It's going to be a tough point. I mean, Cinnabar Valley going to be probably Hex's all right here. 2 players down. We still have one remaining teammate. Hopefully he can get it out there. Sachiko making sure he can stay alive. But Deliska, HYPERCUBE up against BWG. I was about to mention, where is BWG in the standings, or how many kills do they have? Because now it's up to HYPERCUBE to take a position of Hex, and this is 12 eliminations that HYPERCUBE has so far. Roman Yang can make that 15, depending on the situation. Perry coming out here has no sense of discard with the Temi ult to kind of counteract every single one of these moves. Deliska getting caught by the Island, and Assassin's Lunch to keep the staggers going through. Deliska looking for himself for a free blue focus, can't do it, but he finds a Fear and Blast. It's clean, but he misses that horizontal. He's looking to try to get caught through here for using nothing but his F1. There it is. Deliska now can avoid blues and hold check the heck out. You can see that Assassin's Lunch almost coming through. Try to capture one of these targets with Highland, having himself in the high ground. Chili, that tough spot, gets caught into that single fight, and now Vegene is going to be holding him the floor by himself. Hold check of Destiny. There's Parry, double parry in the same face of danger. No sense in the bad spot here as the one remaining teammate. F3 comes out, nice parry as Taliska puts Lexit in a spot. Having the Stoneform proc is the most dangerous game he's going to be playing here. Taliska doesn't have F1 available. He's getting caught by staggers. This is exactly what BWG needed to stop Cicada from doing the forces. There's the F1 investment from Zay. No sense is down. Hold check comes out. F1's available. Vegene having to go ahead and find himself in a 1v3. There it is. Oh my goodness, catches 2 staggers, catches 3 almost. No blues. Remember what happens. Somersault's going to occur. Gets a sustained back. Gets caught to staggers. Has ultimate ready. He might be putting himself in a good spot. He gets it. 1 kill down. Has himself in a 2v1. Let's take a look and see. And Taliska try to put himself in a spot, looking to burn out his Furin is exactly what BWG is looking for. But Taliska has another Furin ready to go here, but that Flamebringer might cause some issues here. Doesn't get caught as Zay is able to get a free appeasement of those staggers. The Pulse War comes out. BWG finds their eliminations so far, currently at 5 onto the board. 19 players total left alive. They're going to find the purple armor, going to find a gold weapon. This is going to be the second Roman Yang as well, so that's a gold armor as well. And these guys are just now went from blue to purples and golds. And this gives them enough circumstantial growth right now. 5 eliminations, around 16 players for them to fight. But what's going to be the case coming through here, man? This is the end game circle. Last 13 minutes, make it count.
It is indeed, but we have to applaud HYPERCUBE there for staying alive so long, getting that Takeda ultimate back online, and almost taking home the 1 versus 3 at the very end there. But it wasn't to be. BWG immediately recognizing that it could be a 1 versus 3 angle for him. So they reset, they stabilize, get the heals on, and Zay comes in having gotten that reset, able to come in and close out the fight. Very nicely stalled out by that Tumulk as well. Just very nice, Naraka, I have to say. Really nicely done. BWG, an extremely strong team as well, looking to try and take the first place away from Hex, having been in second place leading into this game. Although they don't have a crazy number of kills, they've definitely gotten that ball rolling. Having that golden armor is going to be so important for them. This is though CG Wise has been spotted out by HYPERCUBE. And he is going to go down, allowing for HYPERCUBE to cleanse one of their Yang depletions, but not all, I don't think. So HYPERCUBE still going to have to be on the hunt You can try and find 2 more Soul Blooms, them to fully cleanse this debuff here. HYPERCUBE also having gone into this game in 3rd place, having the number of kills that they do. How many is that? That's 14 eliminations. Insane. They could potentially take it as well if they survive this.
I'm looking at the standings, man. I'm calculating this in my head. It's crazy. I don't know if any of the Hex members are still alive, but they had 13 eliminations, total 13 or so far. So it's really, really close considering everything coming out. Double Ballista shot though onto Liska. Has to really just think about where he's going to heal, but no, he's going to go on offensive. Oh, no, take the armor powder here, dog. And of course, take the time to reset here. Finds a grapple sacker on Predator, the bane of his existence for the Ballista, and now it's going to be forced onto the Predator as a Zipping Gang, a Temming ult, you know, like you said, right? Just take the healing, just go for the ultimate, because now the Kylan's out here. HYPERCUBE's in a substantially difficult spot. Kylan can have full control here for those slashes if allowed for it, but there it is, a second slash. Predator having himself almost caught through. Another set of slashes back to back. The pressure is on. There's going to be enough Kylan slashes here for another 5 seconds here. Of course, it's back-to-back motion to Liska, putting himself in a corner here. Doesn't have any other Fear and Blast ready to go here. He gets caught by the Waste on almost to an extent. Could be caught out by Staggers and R&Bs. But Ballista in play, the G from DWG. This could be that turnaround that they're looking for the scoreboard to tie it up and putting into play where HYPERCUBE can no longer live for much longer. Of course, Kylan comes out again. Zay is now on the offensive of it. We're going to see a chance for Chili to look for that chance of sustaining for an armor heal. There's going to be Griff's Predator going down. Zay finding the 6th elimination for the team so far. F1 from Taliska trying to avoid anything of blues. Trying to go for the somersaults as Ballista's shots come back out and again and again. Taliska looking for the armor heals, and as Predator's body gets rumbled through and seeing what is rummaged into that inventory, Zay sees Lucio, sees one of the final remaining teammates as Rustum is still located somewhere in the vicinity, as one of the teammates just hiding around the tower at the trenches and hoping for the 19 players still left alive and seeing what comes next, Duncan.
Indeed. Looks as though Risk is going to try and go for this resurrection here, as BWG has turned their attention over to HYPERCUBE. Tumult Ultimate has been committed, and I think that was on the side of BWG as well, as they are now looking to fully disengage. Zay almost has Ultimate online. Lexan with a huge Dreadful Whale would have knocked Liska and Chili off of this terrain and buy some time for Zay to get that reset that he needs. But Taliska, 70%. He might be able to get this ultimate online pretty soon. But BWG not looking to let them have it. They're sitting on top of the Ballista. A very difficult spot to siege. Surprised that Taliska hasn't been spotted out by this Ballista at the very top there. Tumult Ultimate does get committed now. Risk has resurrected their teammate as well. They're looking to get back into the fight. Lucio getting caught out of the air by the grapple. Lucio somehow manages to make it out. Rustum coming in with the peel, allowing him to grapple away. But I'm not sure it's going to be enough. Lucio dropping back down to try and help him out, but it's not going to be successful. He is going to be taken down. Zay are looking to get aggressive, coming online with that Kylan ultimate yet again, looking to come in and third party at the precise and opportune moment here, knocking them around. The stagger coming out from this ultimate is immense. Lucio does get resurrected. The Kurumi ultimate is committed, but it's not going to save him. Unfortunately, No Sense 1 second doesn't get the Soul Bloom. Someone takes it, and No Sense is actually going to go down here. This could mean the difference between them coming away with second and third, second or first, as they have a substantial number of kills already. BWG on 7, still playing this extremely smart. They're managing their cooldowns extremely well here. You have to say, Zay's almost on his 3rd ultimate now, having used 2 in this engagement. FRW now fighting up against Hex. Squeaky eats the brunt of that dagger sap damage. Mary with the parries going crazy, getting another couple parries there. The Kurumi circle is going to keep them topped up, keep them alive, and Hex is forced to try and run to the hills and disengage. Sachiko does get spotted out though. Wooly recognizes this, comes in for the peel. Mary taking a lot of damage, goes for the teleport, gets the RMB with that fan, but not able to get too much damage as the F3 comes through for the protection from the Kurumi. Mary now taking a lot of damage. Hex looking to turn this fight. The Tumult ultimate is going to come through though. Is this the third party? It is indeed. Bang coming in to crush the dreams of Hex. At the perfect time. But Hex Wooey still alive. Did manage to get a kill onto Zunlove. But is it enough? And BWG is also in the mix. It is just everybody in this vicinity going crazy right now. So
BWG have this opportunity for the third party, and the opportunity is met. I mean, we saw all the burned ultimates of Moonbane, though, double rolled out. Nice one, Vijin. Having to avoid that one, but Zay is now at the point of being able to get some sustain back from that Soul Bloom, so now he's able to kind of work through into that zone. Lexin closing in, having to back off there, as he has also Dreadful Whale, as it's revealed with Blue Dagger. Even if it's a Blue Dagger, it's still going to do a lot of damage, but Suiki's in this fight still against FRW. Lexin taking double Moonbane slaps to the face, not a lot of health right there, and Sachiko is fighting out Mary, and you know, what's interesting is that the Moonbane, once it slaps, it starts to see the health bar starts to get revealed, and you can see Vijin just going for the bow shots in the distance. Sachiko, Zay, we're looking to try to go for this engagement. While Chili got spotted out here by Zay, we're going to see it be revealed for the F-Twist. Chili still has ultimate ready to go here. Bang, TK6 going for their fights, going for the range shots. 12 players total left alive. It's crazy to see this, but BWG has 9 eliminations right now, and this is really closing in for those eliminations for placement as well for Hex if they're still in the game. Of course, Bang in the distance. Chili goes to the zone. Dies out. I think actually that's not the zone. That is Moonbane. So Chili actually gets eliminated by Moonbane inside of the center. Unfortunate circumstances to be arise. But we still have Hex on the western side of this bar, and you know it's crazy enough to see this, right? But the difference between both first and second place is 5.5 points, right? That's a 5 kill difference, you know, minimum. Besides placements, besides everything of the nature of the multipliers, and I still think that Hex still has more eliminations to BWG at the current moment, so it really will come down to tying the score, catching extra placement points, and then a kill above all to enhance themselves in terms of the scoreboard overall. Shout out to the bird's eye view coming out here. We have party number 9 into the eastern side, while Taliska is going to be hiding out 4th placer for HYPERCUBE. Like you said, they have a lot of kills too. Like the HYPERCUBE actually, I think, are the kill leaders in the lobby right now for MVP so far, but until things are met where more eliminations to be met, we can see Bang Revillion and Lexington actually go into a tassel here. We lost that Woo, we lost that Takeda. We still have Sachiko here on the Kurumi with the V1, V2 with the F3, and now it's up to Hex to work this out. I didn't see the one elimination there for Sachiko, but we are gonna have to double check and see that value later on. While Revillion gets caught into a double carry, this is exactly what BWG needs against Bang as a whole. The Island comes out here, big slap. Big chances, R&B's released, and there's another parries to come through here, and that's going to be a free Kylan slash for level 2, and there's going to be Revelli getting locked through here. Who's going to pick up this soul? Oh my goodness, man. We can pick up this soul, this Spirit Well. This is going to give the team the necessary sustain to save themselves, but Revelli just throws those blues like water. It's revealed, it's flowing, it's going out. Save finds a 10th elimination for the team. BWG are looking to get the parry, this time against Korean. All the Bang are throwing these blues. 11 eliminations for BWG. And they got themselves the rage necessary to come through here, and that Spearwell is on standby. Guess who's rocking in there? Then face value. Squeaky finds Lexin. He eliminates Lexin. He's looking to try to get that Spearwell as well for the team, and this is going to give him a buff. As you can probably tell, Zay is looking to try to get that elimination off the TK6. F1 comes out, perfect opportunity, but no. But Jane finds the R&B release. It's going to be a chance here for the Spearwell to get revealed. Guess who got it? Going to be waiting this one out. F1 comes out. Zay is going to force the ultimate here. There's the R&B release. There's going to be the F3 coming out here from the Kurumi, and now it's going to be a close type fight. 7 players on the board. They got the res. Could they find the elimination off the res? Let's look and see, because that Temi ultimate is going to deny that position right then and there, and Zay is looking to try to go back and forth to try to confirm it, but the Spearwell got reset, but there's no way to quit confirming this one. Zay takes time to heal here. He's got to be very careful. He's got his ability back up here. We're at 40%. Now we got a beacon drop to come in here. It looks like it's going to be a chance for Sasha to look to try to make his testament of his own, having the proc ultimate for his Kurumi, as a Kurumi, I should say. And now there's going to be a chance for Zay backing off to his corner to heal. A lot of players inside of this fence post. We're going to have to take a look into seeing what's going to be the next steps here for the final 2.5 minutes before the end game. It's deciding who is going to place out above one over the other.
Indeed, it is so unbelievably close. Noob Slayer and Rewinding Rain are now trying to take it upon themselves to secure themselves this Spirit Well. And wait, did they just do it? They did. Wait, they did. So, but the thing is, Noob Slayer was still in Ultimate, so unfortunately he does not get his Ultimate refreshed here, and now he's turning his attention over to Taliska. Unfortunately misses that F3. Taliska does eat a bit of damage though, does get knocked down. He's on the fence, trying his best to stay alive as long as possible. He literally, one placement could mean the difference between him taking home first, second, or third. It is so unbelievably close here. BWG did manage to resurrect their teammate before Lexon had been taken down, but he's back on his feet now. 3-man strong. They're looking to try and take the dub this game. Taliska now in the 1v1 versus Noob Slayer, trying to disengage, but I don't think he's going to be able to. Forced into the zone there, does get taken down. Sachiko also down for the count. I think only one member of Hex is still alive. Squeaky getting focused down by BWG. Noob Slayer looking to jump in here. Zay taking a lot of damage on that armor. Noob Slayer just running around, trying to be as big of a menace as possible. All the big damage there onto Lexan. The Kurumi ultimate is going to come through alongside the tether to keep them topped up. They want this win. They're playing as smart and as together as they possibly can. No unnecessary risks. Rewinding Rain now throwing out those RMBs on the fan. Still has that Mystic Might buff. Is going to have that defense buff. And Zay, this is smart play from him. He's staying out of the fight. He knows that if he is able to keep his ultimate long enough, he's going to be able to wreak havoc on this end zone. And there it is, trying to knock Squeaky out of the tree. Not able to accomplish that just yet. Vagine grappling up, trying to get Squeaky out of the air. Zay jumping around with this ultimate, keeping that last charge, trying to keep it as long as possible. Knocks Noob Slayer into the zone now. Lexan eats a bit of damage from that R&B. Squeaky goes down to the zone, does not get the kill over to any of these players. Might be the difference. Rewinding Rain, there it is. BWG are going to take the dub with the first place finish. But was it enough? Maybe they did. I don't know, but oh my god! Hex actually gonna win it all!
Yo!
BWG and HYPERCUBE, it wasn't enough! Hex able to clutch it up, ladies and gentlemen. Hex are going to be your Summer Challenge Trios champions. Here are the standings. How close is that?